Yeah, right now it just seems like escapist media. Aside from like, there's so much escapist media.
Terrorist anime.
Terrorist anime.
Terror in Resonance didn't take off as much as I thought. Ash, but he joins Just Stop Oil, whatever it is.
What is the best era of anime? We are going to find out today on this episode of Trash Taste.
You're not even going to introduce us, Khan?
I am your host.
Not even
for
like
today.
a welcome back to Trash Taste?
By the way, welcome back to Trash Taste. You know what channel this is at this point.
Yes.
I'm your host for today, Garn. Joining me once again are the boys.
That's us.
Yes, and our producer has made a very pretty document for us.
Yeah.
Because we thought it'd be fun to go through some of the eras that anime has gone through and reminisce on when we on the anime that we remember, which is not going to be on the first segment.
No. I guess, I mean, in terms of anime history, I don't know a whole lot.
Yeah. I know like a tiny bit, especially, but like not as much as some older folks who are more knowledgeable on the older era of anime. But
how's your anime knowledge, Jerry?
Yeah.
Really?
It's alright, I guess.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all right.
It's alright.
But-
I only did an hour-long video on manga history.
That's not anime.
That's not anime though. That's not anime.
True.
You should, like,
Yeah.
if
Never
they
heard of
moved-
it, actually.
Yeah.
They moved a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Movement, I sleep.
Yeah, but I saw you did this video on your second channel as well, Joey.
Yeah.
Which there was a video where there was
The anime openings
all the anime openings throughout
Yeah.
time. I watched that video as well on stream, and I'm not gonna lie, anything before like 1990, I was like, I have never heard of this before.
Yeah. What is this? What is this?
I've only heard of some of them, only
Yeah.
because like, especially in the Japanese otaku community in like the 2000s, they were still kind of talked about as like the OGs. So like every now and then, like, you know, I would hear like the Astro Boy opening and shit like that.
Right,
I'd be
right,
like,
right.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know that one, obviously. Or like, you know, Gigantor right there.
Wait, when did they start doing anime openings?
Probably around
Who did it first?
Probably.
I'd say probably around the 50s.
Probably
or
pretty
60s.
early.
Because Looney Tunes had an anime opening.
Did it?
That's the OG.
That is the OG. I didn't realize.
OG
that-
anime opening.
yeah, now
I think. I know there was cartoons before that, but
yeah. Who needs fucking J-pop? Man?
That's a certified banger. Right?
Yeah.
it is. Everyone knows it.
Instantly recognizable.
So I guess let's just jump into it. So again, we're gonna go through each eras of anime. Obviously,
Do you know any of these, Connor? Other
Yeah.
than
I
Astro
do.
Boy?
I do. I actually do. Yeah. I mean, obviously, okay. Listen. So we're starting with the first era, right? And obviously,
Yeah.
as we get more and more, there are more anime being made. So the eras will get tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, I know Astro Boy. I know Kimber the White Lion. I know that Nakamura Gatama is like the first anime,
Yeah.
right? That they
Namakura
made.
got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least popularized. I'm not really
Yes.
sure. That's before they. Well, I mean, that was obviously, I think, right before 1917, right? So that was before everyone started realizing, like, we should make propaganda out of cartoons. and the West did this too.
Yeah. I mean,
So I think obviously this covers a long era of Japanese history.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff's
Very
being-
tumultuous
this
era,
is
that's
a
for
lot.
sure.
This is a lot.
It's like, I mean, that's how a lot of Japanese history goes. It goes 1917 and then 1950.
Big gap. I wonder what was happening in between
Nah,
there.
nothing happened, God. Nothing happened.
Probably nothing. No sure.
It's
Nothing.
fine.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Don't worry about
The
it.
world was actually pretty boring in that time.
But I didn't know that Dororo is from this time, which you recently...
Yeah, I've recently watched all of the remake
right?
on stream, and I know it was originally out in the 1960s.
Wow.
Based on a manga back that.
Yeah,
came
because
out
it
back
was
then.
the new Dororo was significant because it was exactly 50 years before the first Dororo.
Oh, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, and the remake
so they did
was.
it as a 50th anniversary.
Yeah, I watched The Godfather the first time recently, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's insane when I watched that because I think it's 1970 that film came out.
Yeah.
And we're talking about this like it's fucking ancient.
Yeah.
like we have to dust these slides off. But that film
to
was
be fair,
amazing and held up.
Dororo, it
Yeah.
is ancient.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like we
Dororo-
look, it's so weird how we view time like that.
I think it's because you see black and white and
Yeah.
you're like 1940s.
Old.
Godfather, color. All right, that's like 1970 at
New.
least.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, all right,
boomer.
here's the real question. Has anyone here seen a single thing on this list?
I've watched a couple of episodes of Speed Racer.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did
When?
I did a video
also-
like fixing Speed Racer. And I think, or
Oh.
like at least making fun of it.
Yeah.
Because the dub is hilarious if you haven't watched it. So I actually watched a couple of episodes for that to kind of figure out what Speed Racer was about. And I think I left more confused. Because it just kind of like, it just goes around. Always racing his way out of a situation.
All I've seen from Speed Racer is these out of context clips of the show that would get posted on YouTube every now and again, and Speed just seems like the biggest fucking psychopath I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick in the show.
I think there was this one clip where there was this like racer who was like, "Speed, you should let this person win. He has like a wife and child, and he needs the money for like surgery." And Speed's like,
Fuck them kids.
So he's like, "No,
I love that one thing where the guy gets hit off the edge of the road.
Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
a really loud, short shout. I love that.
It's that this era has just that jankiness.
It's cool though because
Yeah.
a lot of like even like cool like retro stuff that you find in stores, or even styles that have been derived from them. You see here, like my God, I don't know what Gigantor is, but I swear I've seen those robots everywhere.
Gigantor was the very first mecha.
Technically, yeah.
He looks like a rip off
'cause-
of Bender.
Yeah,
Like the
it's
other way around.
basically.
Wait, is it the first mecha? Because I thought it was like Tetsujin 28 Go.
Tetsujin 28 is Gigantor.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I was
Gigantor is the English title.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But this was before the concept of the person inside of the robot.
Yeah.
Because Gigantor, the way the main character controls the robot is like literally through like a double Joy-Con setup, like it's a toy car or
Oh,
something.
cool.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until Mazinga Z
Yeah.
where that was the first time where the guy was like, "Hey, what if we put the guy in the robot?"
Thank you, Joey, for,
that's how mecha is
for
hell yeah.
informing me about
you.
my mecha.
Yeah, a lot of people think it was started with Gundam, but it wasn't.
No,
okay.
Gundam is like
Gundam
real
popularized
robots.
it.
Yeah,
Well, you know what they say, right? The person who's at second always, has the most success.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was Nagai Go, the creator of Devilman, who created that.
Is there anything else that you think you can talk about here?
Kimber the White Lion.
I mean, that's
I mean
obviously
that
quite
was
That's incredibly famous.
Yeah, I mean that inspired Lion King, right?
Well,
famous. Isn't this like okay?
Okay.
I said that in my video, and apparently a lot of people gave me shit for it.
Okay,
'cause
okay.
apparently there's like proof that they did it, but then there's like, I don't know. I've watched both Kimber the White Lion and Lion King, and I'm like, these are pretty goddamn
like
similar.
like a 3-hour Your Movie Sucks video about comparing.
Yeah, I
the
think
two.
it's something like that.
I mean,
Right.
to be honest, if Lion King ripped off anything, it was just Shakespeare. It's literally just Hamlet.
It's just Hamlet, right?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Hamlet. Yeah.
But again, Shakespeare covers very.
And you have to
generic
understand as well
stories.
that like Tezuka Osamu like literally started drawing because he was obsessed with Disney movies. Mm-hmm. So like,
Yeah.
So
So Disney made anime, then anime
and then
turned around.
yeah,
and
Disney made anime, and then Disney was also like, let's take some ideas from anime. It's like, all right, what
Fair
goes
So,
around comes around. I guess.
Yeah, who cares, basically.
Yeah,
But
who
yeah,
cares?
I mean, none of us were alive during this era, and
I mean, my dad like fondly talks about because my dad does not watch anime.
Yeah.
But he still fondly talks about how he used to watch Astro Boy and Gigantor growing up.
Oh, wow.
And like
Really?
at the
I think
time,
had
he
that.
was like he wasn't even aware that these things were from Japan.
yeah.
Like he was just like, oh, this is just like another cartoon on TV, and then it's not until years later where he was like, oh, this is like this like weird Japanese thing.
I didn't know Moomin. But Moomin's Finnish, right? The character.
Yeah.
But I guess they animated.
They animated it in
Oh,
Japan.
that's kind of cool. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
My mom grew up watching that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of these shows are like, I'm sure my dad grew up watching Speed Racer and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I know a lot of dads who grew
I
up
only
watching
know
Speed
I only
Racer.
know about these shows because it like until like years later when I found time to actually go back and watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're cool. It's like watching an old. It's like watching a film from like the 40s. It's like
Right.
It's so different that it's hard to like relate to and really like get into as much as like the kids back then
Yeah.
did. But
Yeah.
it's a cool piece of like history.
Yeah, that's basically what I think about this, which I'm just like, I probably won't go back and watch
No.
any of these
Yeah.
if I'm being
not going to
honest.
be at home on a rainy day being like, you
Yeah.
know what? I might rewatch Namakura just for the good old times' sake.
I'll let
Yeah.
the critics. They can watch.
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
Stuff
but-
and tell me about why.
Yeah,
I actually
If
yeah.
I wanted to become more cultured and find out more about anime history, that's probably when I'd come
Yeah.
back and watch some of
Yeah,
these.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So moving on to the next era, which I'm going to be guessing is the Gundam era.
Is that what it's called? The Gundam era?
No,
It's-
but
Did
It's
Max
the
just,
golden
like,
age of mecha.
yeah, the
Did-
golden
Max
age.
just run it.
Very much a golden age.
1975 to 1985. So I have
Yeah.
seen most of these. Yeah, I've seen most. Actually, I've seen all of these.
God fucking damn it, Joe.
What a fucking weeb, all right?
I've seen all of these.
I know.
Okay.
I mean, Doraemon I fucking grew up with.
You know which
Yeah.
one I feel like I see the most in Japan out
What?
of all of these? I feel like Galaxy Express.
Express
999.
Yeah, that is a
I see it
classic.
everywhere in
Yeah.
Japan. It's still like, and everyone sings the goddamn the opening song. Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like so popular in Japan still.
Dude, my mom fucking loves this show.
I mean-
that and The Rose of Versailles, the bottom right there, are my mom's two favorite anime.
Yeah, I mean, I think this era, aside from, definitely Fist of the North Star, very much coincides with what was going on in pop culture at the time globally, because obviously Star Wars was a massive thing. Space opera and sci-fi were very, very prevalent in this day and age. And then Japan found out that, Gundam, when that got released,
I mean, it's just sick.
They're like, we have just created an empire.
Gundams still look cool. So like, I feel
Yeah.
like it's just cool.
And the newer seasons just like keep changing it up.
Yeah.
And like actually they try and keep it like relevant to the current like taste.
I read an article about the Rose of Versailles and about it was basically explaining. Well, I guess the argument was that in like 1970s, 1980s Japan, it was hard to tell a lot of stories that were maybe a little more taboo in the frame of Japan.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time when they wanted to cover topics like maybe
Well, The Rose of Versailles is about the French Revolution, I think.
right.
Yeah.
But is that? Okay, I could be wrong. It might have been Rose of Versailles. It might have been another show, but it was talking about how to kind of talk about more taboo topics in Japan. Like they would frame it as being in Europe so that it could be. It was like seen as more acceptable.
A cultural difference.
Right.
Yeah, it's seen as like
Right.
and so, like maybe these love stories or certain whatever norms or taboos that can be broken in Japan at the time. It's kind of interesting because it was a
guess
good
that
point
makes
a lot
sense,
a lot of
yeah.
stories back then that were a little more raunchy.
Yeah.
were normally set in Europe. In Japan
Yeah.
at least.
That makes sense.
And I didn't realize this because we have Captain Tsubasa as well on there. That is really, really big in like certain countries that got the license for it. I know. I think
Yeah.
it's big in it was like massive in France.
Oh,
A lot
really?
of places in like South
A
America
lot,
as well.
a lot of the countries where it's like football is the main thing is like huge.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I don't remember exactly who, but I remember like seeing like a list of like pro football players, like world famous pro football players who were like inspired to
wow.
like play or continue football because they read or watched Captain Tsubasa.
I can imagine you're about to quit. You're about to call it a day, and you watch one episode. You're like, just when I thought I was
It's like,
out,
damn,
back
Tsubasa the GOAT.
they dragged me back in.
Yeah. And of course, Fist of the North Star, which I think very much, again, mirrors the 80s, like the big macho action movies
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
back in the day.
And this was around the time as well where like anime wasn't afraid to start getting a little bit more violent.
a little bit more,
Yeah.
metal.
Yeah,
You know?
it's more so the next decade where they just went fucking
I
off
mean,
the walls.
Yeah.
Like late 80s, early 90s was Edge.
Oh
That was
yeah,
like
the OVA
everywhere.
era
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
like
yeah.
Even in like America, right? It's
Yeah.
just all about edgy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how can we make something so fucking nuts? But
Yeah.
what is Candy Candy?
Candy is a shoujo manga from the 60s, I believe.
Oh.
And it's kind of like a predecessor to Magical Girl, sort of. It's weird. It's like a mixture of like Magical Girl and Slice of. I'm trying to remember
Right.
exactly, but it's
Yeah.
something like that. I know. Again, this is another title that my mom got me onto because
Right,
she
right.
grew up watching this show.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of precursors to a lot of genres in here.
Yeah.
It seems like, especially with Urusei Yatsura, who I would argue is like the
Created the first waifu.
created the first waifu kind
The
of like
Sims
character.
were born.
Yeah.
Sims were born for this.
Seems
right?
were born for Dama-chan, man.
And looking at this, imagine seeing this air on screen as like a young
Oh my
boy.
god! Yeah, if you were
Holy
if you were
shit.
like a 12-year-old just about to enter puberty and
Yeah.
you saw Dama-chan
Yeah,
on
yeah,
screen,
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
god damn, you'd be like, women are the best.
What about Vampire Hunter D? I never watched this show, but I've heard quite a lot about it.
It's like Giga Violent show.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, it was good though. Again,
Yeah.
like a lot of these shows I watched when I was in like high school and stuff, so I don't very much remember a lot of. I mean, Nausicaä obviously is like
Yeah. I can't believe Nazca aired here. I thought, for some reason, I thought Nazca was like 90s for some reason.
Yeah, I think Nausicaä's 80.
It's the first Ghibli film.
Technically, no.
Okay.
This is before Ghibli was founded.
Yeah.
Nazca is the
You just
reason why
technically
Ghibli
Yeah.
got
No,
founded.
okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they made Castle in the Sky.
Yes, Castle in the Sky is technically the first one.
Yeah.
But people just like it's basically the same staff that founded Ghibli who worked
Right.
on Nazca anyway. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a Ghibli.
It's like calling Gurren Lagann a Trigger show.
Yeah.
You know, because
Right,
even though it was
okay,
made
okay.
by Studio Gainax, the entire team went on to found Studio Trigger.
I haven't watched Nazca. I watched Castle in the Sky. I haven't watched Nazca.
You ever watched
Nazca's
Nazca?
one of my favorite, actually.
Nazca's one of my favorites
Really?
as well.
Yeah.
So he fell off after that.
It's like those bands that
He's been putting out slop
Yeah.
since 80.
it's like those bands that debut on their first album, and it's like downhill from there.
I think Jaws is Spielberg's best film, actually. All the other shit that he did afterwards.
He just tried. He tried to match that hype.
Fucking kind of fell off, man.
To be fair though, like there are some scenes in Nazca which, like to this day, are fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I always confused Nazca and Castle in the Sky for some reason. 'Cause I don't know why I thought they looked similar.
I mean, they definitely took a lot of ideas from
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Nazca.
crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool.
I like that shit though.
Yeah, I will say, looking at this, it does remind me, like, especially when we're gonna get into, I guess, more modern anime. Like maybe Miyazaki had a point. You know,
What,
Because-
saying all new anime is dog shit?
I don't know. It just seems like, you know, looking back at these era and looking at what anime has evolved into, especially in terms of like animation styles and the types
Yeah.
of characters you see
Yeah.
in these kinds of shows. It seems like more and more in the modern day, anime characters and anime writing seems to be inspired by other anime.
Yeah, totally.
If that makes
I mean,
sense.
the light novel industry has been struggling with this for like the past, like basically since Haruhi.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess one thing that I feel like I could say is that at least here, right? You look at all of this and you think of like, yeah, this is all like anime, like
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think nowadays it's very hard to view anime and like Doraemon as being like in the same genre almost as what anime is now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it doesn't feel that like. I guess even though these are all very different levels of maturity, these shows, right, and
Yes.
gore and violence,
Yeah.
they all still felt anime, you know, or at least what anime was back then.
Yeah.
I feel like anime now is kind of, and as we'll see, kind of changed to be more of a style. I feel like even though it's technically all anime, right, but I feel like anime as we know it as anime fans definitely has changed. Like we don't, someone who watches Gundam or whatever is not watching Doraemon or watching any of these shows for kids and wouldn't even consider them as being
Yeah.
like the same field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, people still, think that way. to be
yeah,
honest, but-
right. It's. I mean, the different genres. Anime is like
Yeah.
a medium that is comprised of a lot of different genres. But
Yeah.
I think at this point, and especially up until like
Yeah.
the early 2000s, it was easy to watch so many different genres.
Yeah, right.
And now it just seems like the anime community is just different bubbles of different fandoms.
Yeah.
For the genres
No, totally.
that they are.
Yeah, like gaming. I just feel like anime is like
Yeah.
gaming now.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the next year then, I suppose.
Our
All right.
producer has to go into
Just to
a room every
physically
single time.
Leave the room and change the slide.
Yeah. Guys, if you're a regular viewer here, you know that we over at Trash Taste are massive fans of Vessi. I literally wear nothing else other than Vessi, and I'm sure the other boys do too as well. And why is that? That's because Vessi is some of the most comfortable and convenient shoes that can be used in any possible situation you can think of. Rain or shine, Vessi has got you covered, which is good for me right now because it's currently rainy season here in Japan, but still blisteringly hot, and my waterproof but breathable Vessi is literally saving my life right now. And if you're a city boy or girl like me, Vessi has got you covered with their newest shoe. The Courtside Classic is the newest urban living shoe with a classic vintage look. It's a court-inspired shoe that keeps your look sleek and simple with a high aesthetic vibe. It has a padded tongue and collar for a feeling of effortless comfort, perfect match for your daily adventures in the city. It's an easy-to-wear, waterproof shoe with maximum versatility so you can embrace the rain and relax in style in all types of weather. This is your go-to shoe for any kind of urban setting you can think of, whether you're going to a chic cafe or the bustling city streets. And if you're in a place where you don't know what kind of weather to expect, this is the shoe for you. Make the most of city life with vintage style comfort sneakers, the Courtside Classic. Discover more fantastic styles at vessi.com/trash. Get your pair today to get an automatic 15% off your first purchase at checkout and be ready to stay cool and dry. Thank you very much to Vessi for sponsoring us today. Back to the video. So this was very much a sci-fi era, and I think the sci-fi continues
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
all
so
the way
it
up
was
into the
from
90s.
the 90s.
Yeah. Okay, this is a much This era now is getting to the point where there are so many more notable shows since we've gone into like.
Well, these inspired.
All these are bangers.
Yeah.
I feel like these are all the ones that inspired the shows that we went on to like love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Carrying on with like Captain Tsubasa being like fucking massive in so many different countries that were not English speaking at least. Saint Seiya as well.
Saint Seiya is so good.
Yeah.
It's-
I never watched Saint Seiya.
I'd never watched it either
what is
because
it?
it's kind of like I would say it's as close to like Super Sentai in
Okay,
terms of like
okay.
that kind of vibe.
Got it.
Yeah, it's Super Sentai, but like I don't know, on crack. Like it's,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Wow.
yeah, it just gets to like absurd territories, especially later in the manga, and it's considered like a goated 80s Shonen Jump manga.
Yeah, and I know that has a massive fan base as well.
Huge.
But surprisingly, not in many English-speaking countries that I know of.
Yeah, I wonder where that like comes from. Is that purely just from like some countries had the rights?
Okay,
To air
I don't
it or
know. I
something?
don't know why English-speaking countries didn't have the rights to like Captain Tsubasa or Saint Seiya. But apparently, I was talking to someone from Mexico, and he was saying, yeah, it was basically because the rights for these were so cheap.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That
see.
they got like local dubs of it, and they just like
Yeah.
would just repeatedly play it
Right,
over
right.
and over on TV.
Yeah, and I also think that like I don't know when it started, but I don't think there was like a huge demand for Japanese shows, at least in
I think it was
initially.
I think it was more so just like people couldn't like. Kind of like how my dad viewed it, whereas like he didn't even think about it being
Yeah.
from Japan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like they just thought like, oh, it's just another weird cartoon from.
But
somewhere.
there was already, like especially in English, right? We already had a very strong domestic market for
Yes.
animation, for
Yeah.
TV shows, right? So I think it
we
took
had
a
like
little.
Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I think
all
I
that.
think
Yeah.
I think it like took a while for them to realize, and I think I remember because I watched a really good thing about it was talking about how Power Rangers eventually came over,
Yeah.
and how that was a huge hit, but basically it was just like relatively cheap to get the license and then dub it, like, and then
Yeah.
that was a big moneymaker.
Yeah.
Well, Power Rangers
Yeah.
was directly based off of like the
Yeah,
Super
it was literally
Sentai
just a Japanese
shows.
show, right? And then
Yeah.
just dubbed over it, and then filmed extra, which is really weird.
And then they,
But
yeah,
they made their own
They made their own,
universe.
Yeah,
version.
which is also really weird, and I feel like would never ever happen today. you would not be allowed to do that to a show. You would not be allowed to. Like,
No, you'd be
read-
surprised like nowadays the amount of like
can't
Power
cut a show
Rangers
off, though.
clones that have come out that
Yeah, but,
look
like-
and feel exactly the same as like the OG Power Rangers.
But like, you couldn't take a show from like Japan and like butcher it and like add in scenes, and
Oh,
you wouldn't
yeah,
be able to
true.
do that. So I think
Yeah.
that's like a cool product of its time. But I imagine it was probably just a thing of like, because even then, I think when did Ghibli films started getting like released?
Overseas,
Yeah.
probably Princess
around
Mononoke.
probably around Princess Mononoke.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think
And
that's
then-
probably when it started to kick off, and then obviously Pokemon.
well,
was,
where
like,
it
a
really
huge one.
kicked off was when Spirited Away won the Academy Award.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why Disney started to I think the big thing about Ghibli films is when Disney started dubbing it. And
Yeah.
it wasn't just another anime dubbing company, it was Disney with A-list celebrities
Yeah.
dubbing your favorite shows, which was super weird.
Well, I mean,
I've heard a
yeah.
lot about City Hunter, but
Yeah,
I've
I've
never watched it.
Also, another goated Shonen Jump manga.
They just released a movie, I think,
Yeah,
as well.
they released a new movie for it.
Yeah,
I
which
mean,
is-
City Hunter again is like one of kind of like Saint Seiya, where it's just one of those goated 80s Shonen Jump shows that just have
like a cop,
such
right?
a dedicated audience.
Is it a call?
Yeah, he's like a detective.
Oh, okay.
But he's really pervy. Like, like imagine. Okay,
Meliodas is a call.
no, actually, I have the perfect way to describe City Hunter. Think of protagonist from Golden Boy becomes a detective.
Oh,
that sounds sick.
Yeah,
Okay,
like he's the
okay,
good,
okay,
he's the
that's
kind of perv where you're like, all right, you're all right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, all right, you're not like Meliodas.
yeah.
Obviously, Akira.
Of course, Akira. Would you say that for its time right now, like obviously Ghibli became a massive studio internationally. I feel like at this time, Akira dominated so much of the conversation of anime being an export to like the countries that we grew up in, because it was like the way anime was marketed when I was like growing up, and I guess like back when back when I was just a kid, was anime was like the edgier cartoon.
Yeah.
And Kira was just the poster child of that edgy kind of like darker aesthetic that
How
anime
old
had
were you
back
when you
then.
watched Akira?
I was First time I watched it, I was probably like 9 or 10.
Oh my god, isn't it like super violent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also during that time, my dad made me watch Wicked City, which is even worse.
Okay. Well, your dad's just irresponsible.
and Ninja Scroll. Those are the
Ninja
top
Scroll.
three.
Just very irresponsible parent.
Yeah, I remember like I was 10 years old and I was watching Ninja Scroll and I'm like, holy fuck, Dad, I should not be watching this.
Yeah.
There are so much blood and titties in this thing. Like, I couldn't even comprehend it.
Yeah. Obviously, Dragon Ball started in this
Yeah.
era.
Which just completely changed the world.
Yeah, Legend of the Galactic Heroes as well. I thought that started earlier. If I was being
88, I
honest.
think.
Was it 88?
Well, didn't it like built on all the foundation of
Yeah,
mecha before
basically it was, built off the foundation of space operas that had come before. And it is just the perfect space opera. I still think Legend of the Galactic Heroes has aged wonderfully. It's one of the best. It's very much regarded as one of the best anime of all time, and I would have to agree with that.
I would also have to agree.
It's kind of cool because this year it really does feel like the genres are really starting to now like really flash out.
Yeah,
Like,
I
these are almost
feel
done.
this is the era where because the 70s to like the mid 80s was when they were still trying to figure out what anime even was.
Yeah.
And kind of like playing around with ideas, and then it's from around this period where like you started to see a
Yeah,
lot
like I
of
see
artists
genres now.
just like
Yeah.
really like, okay, this is this genre
Yeah,
and this
yeah.
is this genre, and done really really well. I love how Alex put Maison Ikoku in there as well though. He's after my heart with that one.
What is Maison Ikoku?
Maison Ikoku, so it's created by Rumiko Takahashi,
Yeah.
same person who made Urusei Yatsura, Inuyasha, all those. But it's like a really cute slice of life rom-com that constantly gets undervalued, but I will say
You love it.
probably the best Rumiko Takahashi show.
Did this start slice of life rom-com?
It didn't start it, but I think it's just like because Rumiko
Perfect.
Takahashi's like art style is so like bubbly and cute.
Yeah.
That I just think those kinds of stories work better for her art. Not to say that like Inuyasha or like Ramahalf are bad, but I just think like with an art style like that, it makes sense to write a story like this, and she does it
What
really
a
well.
goated mangaka, man. Imagine...
Everything she's made has been an actual banger.
I imagine like most artists or most manga want to make like one revolutionary show. I swear to God, she made like 4.
Yeah, she was like, so she came out with Urusei Yatsura,
Yeah.
immediate banger, created the first waifu.
And
then he was like, Maison Ikoku, I'm going to be really cute with it. And then she's like, I'm going to drop another banger, Ramahalf.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I'm going to drop another banger, Inuyasha.
That's
Yeah,
kinda
like
fucked.
literally everything she's made is amazing.
There's also 3 Ghibli movies on here as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Kiki's Delivery Service and Grave of the Fireflies.
How many movies did they release in the space of like 4 years?
Oh, dude, they were locked in during this
They
time.
must have been locked in.
Every movie they made was like humongous.
How the fuck did they release so many bangers?
Because I think it was only like a couple of years later they started releasing Mononoke.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They were locked in.
They were
Yeah.
locked the fuck
What
in.
happened?
And it wasn't even
Miyazaki
all...
went into his 27th retirement.
Yeah.
True.
And it wasn't even all Miyazaki as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
They weren't the Miyazaki studio back then. or
Exactly.
the
Well,
Miyazaki-
Grave of the Fireflies is not a Miyazaki film.
Exactly.
I still, I haven't watched that one. I actually haven't watched Totoro either.
I feel Totoro, you had to have grown up with it.
I don't.
It's hard to watch.
Everything
it
I've
as an
seen about
adult.
Totoro, I wouldn't like. But Grave of the Fireflies, I think I want to watch.
Grave
Yeah,
of the
Grave of the
Fireflies,
Fireflies has aged
it's
well.
it's hard to watch. Though.
Yeah.
Not
I
in a
mean,
bad way, in like a this is too sad way.
it's-
Well, I like watching those stuff.
I watched the Chinese dub of Grave of the Fireflies and I was crying.
Why? Okay. Why did you watch the Chinese
What?
stuff?
What? Yeah.
Because we had the VCR of Grave of the Fireflies, right, growing up, the Japanese one,
Yeah.
that I used to watch with my sister every now and then when we wanted to feel sad. And then we lost that VCR.
So you bought a new one.
And no, we didn't even do that. And then we went onto like YouTube.
Okay.
And for some reason, at the time, the only YouTube rip of Grave of the Fireflies was the Chinese dub.
I've never heard of anyone want to watch that movie so bad they were watching the Chinese dub. I kind of feel like if I just didn't find the dub, I would give up.
Yeah.
But I still cried in the first 5 minutes. That just goes to show the power of this show.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. What a cool era though.
Yeah, lots of, and like I think as well, the one thing I love about this era is that again, it's like it's just so many different art styles that it's just
Yeah.
like actually interesting to see.
Yeah. No. Yeah. This
know?
is definitely where you can definitely start to feel like each genre having its own
Yeah.
style and
Yeah.
really
Absolutely.
going down. That's.
I've never seen Bubblegum Crisis.
It's just one of those like kind of Charlie's Angels cyberpunky shows
Oh,
that
okay,
was like
okay.
really good. I didn't watch a whole lot of it, but
Yeah.
I would watch a couple of episodes every now and then because it played on TV in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, weirdly, and I would catch it every now and then, and I mean, because I'm like jumping in around like episode 50 or whatever it was. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's happening, but it looks cool.
I feel like they used to play more anime before we were growing up, because I feel like in the 90s, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon were crushing it so hard
Yeah.
that there was no room for anything that wasn't Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh
That's
Yeah.
true.
or Beyblade,
Or like Digimon.
Digimon.
Yeah.
But that's quite Digimon card
that's still
captors
quite a
as well.
bit.
That's quite a lot.
I never saw Cardcaptor Sakura.
It was on ITV.
Bro, I never fucking saw this.
Yeah, it was called Card Captors.
That's
back in the day. Still remember the opening. Okay. Am I the only one who kind of misdubbed openings?
I mean, I fuck with the One Piece one. I watched One Piece when it was on TV. I like the One
The
Piece
Four
rap.
Kids dub one?
I like the One Piece rap.
I see. I never heard it growing up, so
Yeah,
it wasn't
got
until I
nostalgia.
was an adult that I heard, it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, this kind of slaps.
Yeah. Obviously,
The Pokemon one is goated.
Pokemon 1,
Yeah, the English
goated.
Pokemon opening's great.
Dragon Ball Z, fucking goated.
Oh my god, the Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
English opening?
Holy
Dragon, Ball, Dragon! I was like, yeah!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Goated. Dude, how is that not iconic, man? I don't care
fire.
about.
They did kinda pop
do
off.
you even know the Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh opening?
No.
I just,
Yeah, they did kind of go crazy with it, huh?
yeah.
Damn.
You know, they had a lot of bangers, some misses.
Yeah, I firmly believe the opening. I'm okay with them changing the song.
Yeah.
They're wanting.
Yeah.
Oh, for the dub versions?
For the
Yeah.
dubs.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
okay with
Why,
it.
why not? Why
If
not?
I want to listen to the other one, I'll listen to. It's
Yeah.
not the end of the world.
Yeah,
I
YouTube's
like
there.
having the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. We have gotten into the 90s now. Obviously, Evangelion was
The GOAT.
the GOAT, but there were a lot in this era.
JoJo.
OVA JoJo.
Yeah, the OVA
Yeah.
JoJo. Was that big in Japan? Because I don't know how big the
No.
JoJo OVA was.
Not really.
I feel like JoJo was like just iconic
I mean,
in
they like
general.
skipped everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
They like
It was-
glossed over everything.
It was like just a poorly done OVA.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cool. Like, I like how it looks.
It's
Yeah.
very 90s, but
Yeah, super
other than
90s.
that, it's like kind of
I
whatever.
guess the only thing that I think is missing from this list in general is just this is the era of like the OVAs, right?
Yes.
Just like the really, really underground OVAs.
the Violence Jacks, the Genocibers,
Yeah, right.
which were like unironically fucking awesome.
This was the era. I don't know why they stopped the OVA era or why the OVA era started in general.
yeah.
But this is the era where you can find so many weird underground shows that were
Yeah.
just like had so many experimental
Is
ideas.
Angel's Egg around this period?
I think it might be.
It might be, right?
Yeah, it might be. Actually, it might be 1997.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I'm not sure. That number just feels right.
Yeah.
85.
85?
I was
I thought
way
it was
off.
I thought it was the 90s.
I was way off. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder, was it mainly to do with how like anime was distributed, with why there was so many OVAs? Was it just more profitable at the time?
Maybe
to
there
make
was just
OVAs?
like maybe it was profitable because this was the time when you can get anime distribution that didn't have to rely on television.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that also meant that you could just get away with things that you would
You didn't have to be, like,
absolutely,
censored.
no way be able to get.
I mean,
on
this is during the
televised.
period where, like, on like Japanese like TV shows and like game shows and stuff, like
Yeah.
you would just see like titties.
Yeah. I
You know,
mean,
like the TV in general, I think would like a lot less strict on like just censorship and like you know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So anime was just took full advantage of that. And we're like, oh, we're gonna make the most fucked up shit.
it is crazy watching some of these shows. You're like, wow,
Yeah.
they're just ripping titties for no reason.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah. I was
I'll be like, no need for titties in the scene. It's not even horny. They'll just be titties. You're like, oh,
yeah.
I was watching the original. I don't know if you had this on your recording, Joey. When the original Dragon Ball opening came on.
Oh yeah, and it's
there's
just,
a
it's just
shot
Goku's dick,
of Goku's dick out in the open.
what?
not adult Goku, child Goku.
Child
Is
Goku.
that good? Oh no, I do remember this now.
Yeah,
It's just this like tiny little willy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause-
because they draw it like the little like.
like a little cartoony way.
They
you
draw
know?
I thought you.
it's not like
Could you repeat that?
it's not like Goku's fat
Goku
fucking
with his
dick.
fucking 7-inch schlong. Full girth on display.
Yeah, it's just child Goku naked, just running about.
Full leg
Yeah, full
spread,
leg
like
spread out.
just full display.
Yeah.
I happened to pause it on that frame.
Yeah,
and I was just
cool.
like, no.
Yeah, because was Dragon Ball censored when it was aired on TV? Because I remember when I watched the original Dragon Ball, there were parts where Bulma showed like her tits and stuff like
No.
that. That was like cut out.
No, that was on full display, bro.
Bro,
Full display.
if I saw that as a kid, man,
Oh, dude, I'm not.
that is an awakening happening.
Oh,
You know
dude,
what I mean?
Dude, I can't even imagine the amount of Japanese boys in the
Yeah.
90s who had an actual sexual awakening with characters like Bulma.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But it was like, I mean,
100%.
like, there was no like stigma around like nudity.
Nah.
Yeah.
And I
Because
feel like-
again, this was the era where like you would casually see it on TV.
Yeah.
And it's like, whatever.
Well, yeah, I guess because that's like more of like Japanese history, right? There's never been like a Puritan, like Western influence that's like nudity and sex bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like
exactly.
a lot of like, at least a lot of for a long period of Japanese history, I think like being nude or having sex was not seen as anything
I mean,
taboo
this is the
at all.
country.
Yeah.
this is the country that has public baths. You know.
Yeah,
Like,
again,
people
like,
are used to it.
I guess that was like a kind of a holdover. But I
Did
guess
you guys
it's
remember your teenage awakening at all? The film / movie / TV show / character that was just like, this. Well,
I actually don't.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it made that much of an impact on me.
No.
I think I was loyal to the chief, the master chief. You know, I'd get back to Valhalla, Don. Okay,
When he took his helmet off in that one scene, that's when I had my sexual awakening. It's like,
it's like that scene,
he's gorgeous.
It's like that scene in the Buzz movie that flopped when they like edited Buzz when he took off his helmet and he was just naked. Just imagine the chief butt naked and then his helmet comes off last.
Yeah. It's like, are you ready?
I think mine was pretty early actually.
What
I
was
think
it?
mine was like Officer Jenny in Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like I think I knew they were hot, but I didn't know why.
Yeah, I think I was still too young to process.
Yeah,
I think I was like, I like her.
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
she's cool.
We could be good friends.
Yeah,
She
I
takes-
was like, why do I like it when she's on screen? I don't understand why.
She
but,
takes care of them. Yeah.
obviously, we had Yu Yu Hakusho in this
Goated.
era as well. Slam Dunk,
Goated.
a
Best sports manga ever
I
written.
mean, single-handedly made basketball. Like,
Single-handedly
Yeah.
brought basketball to Japan.
yeah. I
popular.
mean,
we
it did.
need something like that in the UK. We need like another sport. We just need one more sport.
Just
like
one more
what?
sport.
Just anything. All we have is like rugby, cricket, and football.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all
What
we
sport
have.
do you want to see in the UK?
Fuck.
I swear to God, in America, there's like a new sport being invented
Yeah.
every single day.
Yeah.
Like I hear people like
Because they want to be the best at it.
Yeah, that would be like, we invented that, and
Was it-
we're
you
the
talking
best
about,
at
you
it.
talking about, like
Yeah.
pickleball?
Yeah, I'm talking about
Fucking
pickleball.
pickleball, bro.
What the fuck? I was like,
Bro, it's so serious. And people play it a
I,
lot.
I wake up one day and then every American is talking about pickleball.
Pickleball. I know,
I'm like,
I-
what the fuck is pickleball?
The first time I saw footage of it, I thought it was like a meme.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
same
think
here.
it became
Because it's called
popular-
pickleball.
Yeah, it's called fucking
Yeah,
pickleball.
It's a terrible name.
It's
a
I
terrible
think
name.
because it's like tennis is very expensive to like run. Like you
Oh, to run, right?
like
Yeah.
you to have a tennis court is very difficult, but
Sure.
pickleball is like you can run it in like half the size, and you also
Can I
don't need to
not
like.
think of a bit better name? Have we just
Why is
gone
it called
through-
pickleball?
Have we just gone through all the good names now?
Alex, look up why pickleball is called pickleball. Because there's nothing fucking pickle about it.
Anyway, Ghost in the Shell, swag.
Swag.
Ghost in the Shell.
That was probably when I had my first sexual awakening, the opening scene.
Oh, the opening scene of that one.
Yeah, I was like, yo!
Major
But
Kusanagi.
I just remember like whenever I would see like if I ever saw nudity, I just think I was just thought like, huh. I never really thought much of it. I was like,
He was an alpha male before alpha
Yeah.
males were.
no. How is it alpha male? If anything, that's like un-alpha male. I wasn't like focused on breeding from like. Some moment. I wasn't like
I must breed.
Yeah, I had no. I was just kind of like, all right, cool. Like, when does the killing start happening? When does this?
Oh,
Did
you're-
you,
you're
do
more
you
into that.
remember when the first time you saw tits on screen?
yeah,
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it was that fucking horrendous scene in Ninja Scroll.
I
How old were you?
I was like 9.
Oh my,
And my
God.
dad was watching it in the living room, and I'm like, "Ooh, I like anime." And then I saw that scene where that woman's tits get ripped off, and I'm just like, "Okay,
Okay.
What the? What
yeah, Ninja Scroll,
What
Yeah.
that one, the
fuck?
one below
Beach
Ghost
watched
Shop."
that. That's how I was old.
Yeah.
I watched what is that one movie? The one where that woman crosses her legs. That very famous scene.
Something Instinct.
Because she
Basic
has,
Instinct.
Basic
doesn't she
Instinct.
have like? Because she's like a cyborg in that, right, or something? What am I thinking about? What movie?
A cyborg?
I have not watched this film.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
that-
I actually remember that. That was an awakening.
I think a
Holy-
lot of kids
Yeah.
have that. Yeah.
There was
that was an adult awakening as
Yeah.
well, man.
some kind of movie where like the woman was like either not a robot or like robotic, and her boobs are just out constantly. And I remember, I think I was we were somewhere in a foreign country,
Yeah.
and my mum had gone to bed, and then I was watching the movie with my dad, and my dad was like, "Don't say anything to your mom." And then I just didn't understand why her titties were out. But I remember I was like, "I like it.
It's pretty right.
All right.
I like it." But I think that's a universal love.
Yeah.
All parts of life.
Yeah.
What,
Everyone,
titties?
everyone loves titties.
That is true.
Everyone loves
Everyone.
titties.
I
That is
think
true.
even girls love
Girls
titties.
love titties.
Yeah.
Like straight girls.
Everyone
that-
loves titties.
Like who doesn't love titties?
Yeah, like
Um,
it's interesting how that works, right? Like guys aren't like that with a pair of nuts, you know. They're
No,
not,
no.
they're not like nice. but with a pair of tits, girls are like, "Yo, that's pretty sick."
It's just like free fun bags that you just have on you, right?
That's what I think my balls.
I wouldn't need look.
fun bags.
I'm just saying,
Like,
if I had
yeah.
tits, I would not need
Okay.
fidget toys.
Okay, all right. Okay, Colin. You would not. Okay. There's not a alternative universe where Gant is just playing with his nipples all the time. Okay. Staying on track.
Titties. Which one of these has titties?
Magic,
Ghost in the
what is
Shell.
Magic Knight
Rayearth.
Rayearth? What is that?
Magic Knight Rayearth. Oh fuck. I
So
know
I-
I know the name.
I'm familiar with some of these. I have watched some of these, and I don't know any of them. So I don't know anything about Battle Angel or Magic Knight.
Well, Battle Angel is Alita.
Oh, is it Alita?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alita.
Oh, then I know that. I watched
Yeah,
the
Battle
yeah.
Angel is Alita.
watched the movie.
Slayers is.
I know about Slayers.
Yeah, Slayers is one of the first light novels that
It
got
was just
adapted.
called a novel back then, surely, right?
No, it was called a light novel back
Oh, was
then.
it a light novel
Yeah.
back then?
Yeah.
Was Boogie Pop Phantom a novel? Or
Boogie
light
Pop
novel?
Phantom was also a light novel.
I also didn't know that Dragon Quest had an anime adaptation. Back then.
Yes, that was originally shown in Jump manga, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
was all the art done by Toriyama as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this is
Yeah.
a different artist.
Huh.
Completely.
Because he did the Dragon Quest.
Yes, he did the Dragon
Right,
Quest
right.
art for the
Okay,
game,
okay.
but
Yeah, I'm
this
trying to keep
was
track of
done by a
everything.
completely different artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's huge. It was one of the reasons why Dragon Quest was so big in the 90s. Is because the success of the game birthed the manga, and then that in turn
Must
brought
be-
the game to new audiences.
This is back in the day whenever you'd like watch an anime and then you go and play the game and you're like, why does Pokemon look like ass? why does it not look like the anime?
They're like, yo, Pikachu's on some fucking
Yeah.
Adderall or something. Like,
and then now it just still looks worse than the anime.
yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, the Pokemon anime. Have you seen the recent Pokemon anime?
Yeah, it looks good. But
The animation's fucking insane.
Yeah.
but
it's
I
because they
feel like
changed
even
studios.
the initial first round of Pokemon anime still looks better than the games.
Oh well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, this it's apples and oranges. It's hard to compare.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say the same thing about fucking Dragon Quest as well. First couple of Dragon Quests don't look that great. They play great, but
No, it's in like
the manga looks better.
I'm saying like this. You side to side. You put this show
Oh.
with modern day Dragon Quest. Which one looks better? But I guess this is like a preference.
Yeah, it's a
style.
preferential
Yeah,
thing.
it's true. It's true.
I mean, I like the art style
I'm
of.
being a graphics gamer now. I'm saying like, why is there not 5 million pixels on the nose?
Well, I think there's an argument to be made.
My point was that Pokemon just looks bad. So.
The games, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when was the last game you played?
What was the one on the Switch? The first one.
Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I played that.
Yeah, but Sword and Shield looked like
horrible.
ass.
Yeah, but the new one also didn't look great.
No, it doesn't. I think the
They've been
last
fucking it up since '90.
Black and White though looked good.
I love Black and White.
Black and White
2.
Black and White and Black and
Black and
White
White 2 is a
2
banger.
were like when they were like, all right, they're actually kind of cooking with this.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
the sprite work.
Alright.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
don't
sorry.
think anime looks better in this day and age. You know,
What?
I think
I like some of it.
I think there's some, you know, argument that
Crayon
could be made
Shin-chan?
for.
You gonna disrespect Crayon Shin-chan?
I think there's some arguments that you can be made to be like, okay, OG Ghibli, Akira, that still looks better than so many anime films and
Yeah.
shit coming out
Yeah.
nowadays. Do you know what I do think looks better back
What?
in the day?
What?
Hentai.
Yes.
I think
Except how they what I cannot get over the color they draw dicks.
Yeah.
The dicks, and the
Yeah.
dicks look so weird.
it's like
I kind of like when they censored it. 'cause I can kinda-
Yeah. Uncensored 90s hentai dick just looks weird.
And also, the more I watch hentai, the more I just don't need to see inside the vag. I don't need the X-ray.
well, that's like a modern hentai thing as well, you know.
yeah,
I
the
just-
less and less I enjoy
Yeah.
X-ray
Yeah.
tag.
I kind of like the blurring that covers it up. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
I don't want to see
It's like, oh, I get it now.
yeah, I don't want to see the Fear and Hunger dungeon mid porno. Like, I don't want to see that.
It's like insane. It's like sometimes
The dark beast approaches.
Yeah, literally, dude. Is like spot the difference.
yeah. It's like sometimes you see like really old hentai from the 90s or something.
It looks so good.
And it's just like, how the fuck did you have hentai Sakuga back in the day? And
Yeah.
then they like put this like really cool action scene in that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, hentai was like a series back then.
Yeah,
Like, they
yeah,
used to
yeah.
just like make
Yeah.
so much like lore.
Yeah. And then like the 2000s hit, and then the quality of hentai just like went
Fucking
fucking
plummeted.
fell
Oh
off.
Yeah,
the
it's
cliff.
because they started adapting from erogaze, that's why. And like
Right.
99% of erogaze, they don't give a
And-
fuck about the story.
And it's still shit.
Yeah.
And it's still shit.
This year of hentai has been the worst hentai I've watched in so long.
Yeah.
Dead ass, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think I've watched hentai this year.
Yeah.
You've not missed out.
Yeah.
I
Because
keep,
every time I go to check, I'm like, nothing appeals to me.
I check just to maybe see if they've made a banger. We haven't had shit.
Really?
Nah, yeah. I'm just saying they don't make hentai like they used to, baby.
It's all NTR and
I
it's
remember
all
back during the golden
garbage.
days, man.
yeah.
Golden days
I
of
remember when
hentai.
hentai had plots and
Yeah.
animation.
Hentai is
Yeah.
getting to be like unviewable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bad now.
Looks like you're gonna have to go to Dojin soon.
Fuck. All right.
All right, moving on. It's
Moving
going
on,
to be
moving on.
interesting to see what the climate is like post
Well, we're about to reach
Ava.
peak anime.
This episode of Trash Taste is sponsored by Shopify. Guys, we started Trash Taste on a whim, and the last thing on our minds when we started it was selling merchandise. But now we've done multiple drops of so many different products. Joey started his own bloody drip company, and it's so easy because we use Shopify. Shopify is the global platform that allows you to sell at every stage of your business. Whether you're selling scented soaps or offering outdoor outfits or selling Trash Taste t-shirts, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify has got you covered. And you can sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Honestly, Joey's told me so many times he wouldn't know where to begin without Shopify when starting nonsense. And personally, I know how good Joey is with tech, so seeing how far nonsense has gone, I can only imagine how much Shopify took the pressure off for so many parts of his business. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/trash, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/trash now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/trash. Thank you very much, Shopify, for sponsoring this episode. Back to the video.
This is pretty much like peak modern anime. Is this considered modern?
I mean, if you ask Gen Z kids today, they'll call these retro.
Well, I feel
Yeah.
like this is when anime like fucking kicked in.
Oh, they were cooking with this.
and they were
era,
like,
dude.
now it's time to make global money.
Look at all these. Look at all these goated shows.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Alex definitely puts SEL there just to make me happy. Because otherwise, ain't no one talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at these. We have
Rurouni.
Kenshin,
Was One Piece
Trigun.
that popular at this time?
Well, it started in 96.
Yeah, I mean, was it? I don't. Was,
it's
was it
98
like
it
it wasn't
started,
Oh,
as
98. Excuse
Yeah.
was it as popular at this point? I feel like it.
I mean,
did it take off right away?
It got big pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean,
feel.
One Piece, because I think One Piece would have had a lot of hype coming into it, because I remember reading Rurouni Kenshin, and there was this One Piece Easter egg in Rurouni Kenshin, because Oda started off as an assistant in
Yeah.
Rurouni Kenshin. So he shot off to do his own series called One Piece, and got his farewell from that. And Rurouni Kenshin back in the day was a fucking massive manga. as well.
Yeah, although nowadays it feels bittersweet to call yourself a Rurouni Kenshin fan. But, you know, back in the day, I thoroughly enjoyed Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did in Japan. It was huge.
Trigun, interesting that it's up there, because I don't know how popular it was in Japan.
I feel this is one of those shows, like, because there are a few shows like this, you know, same with like Cowboy Bebop, like, people in Japan knew about it, but
Yeah.
I'd say the ratio of people outside of Japan knowing about it is definitely higher. And I feel same thing with Trigun.
Yeah.
What I don't understand in Japan, right, is that the way they air anime is so like hard to watch because
What do you
it airs so late. And,
Oh, yeah.
and like it's so hard to know what's gonna air.
It's because there's no other available time slots. on
Right, but
Japanese TV.
isn't that crazy that there's still such a fandom for it? And they were they just relying on DVDs and
No, they were
VHSs
fucking
at the time?
recording straight from the TV.
oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
that they could like watch it the next day.
That's insane.
Or if you were really dedicated, you'd stay up till like 2-3 in the morning to like watch these episodes.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really have the internet back then. So
Yeah.
if you found a show you liked, you needed to lock in to be like,
Yeah.
okay,
You were like, okay, 2 a.m. every
Yeah.
Thursday, I have to fucking clock that in.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, you know, anime has become this like global medium accepted by a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you know, obviously anime was popular in Japan back in the day, but I've heard that there was some kind of stigma against a lot of anime shows, especially if it wasn't like something like One Piece. or
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that, because,
Oh, I
you
mean,
know,
just because there was a stigma on like being an anime fan.
or an otaku,
And,
you know,
and
back in-
otaku especially, you know,
Yeah.
in the 90s especially, like it was seen as like the not cool thing. It was like the least cool thing you can be.
Yeah.
And now, same as with the West, it's like cool to watch anime now.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So how the tides have changed.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Though I remember in Japan was fucking like huge. And this is like even before the card game really like blew up. Cause like I don't know. You look like imagine being a kid in the 90s and seeing that hairstyle for the first
Yeah,
time.
that kind of that hairstyle kind of like took over everything the anime was.
Oh yeah.
Like anime became about like crazy big hair.
I mean, I feel Yu-Gi-Oh! Started the whole meme of like spot the main character.
Yeah.
I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has like not ruined, but has dictated card game character designs to this day.
Oh, yeah.
You know, sometimes even in like the modern day, you see an anime character design and you're like, oh, he's from a card game anime.
Yeah.
You know, and it's I don't know why they all have like the same kind of character designs where it's just like, yeah, let's just give them like the weirdest fucking hairstyles of all
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
What a
to this
bitch of a
day.
hairstyle to anime.
To
though.
this
Yeah.
day, I look at that hairstyle. I'm like, how do you wake up? How do you set that?
It makes no sense.
Also, there's that great meme back in like the 2chan days in Japan where it's like there's an episode where like they're dueling on a boat or something.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Yugi
motorcycles.
falls off. No. Oh, there's
Oh,
that one
oh,
too.
oh.
But in the OG Yu-Gi-Oh anime, there's a scene where Yugi and someone is dueling on a boat. And the loser like falls into the ocean,
Yeah.
essentially. And I think Yugi was the one who fell into the ocean, and he somehow makes it back onto the shore. And the whole meme was like, how did he fall into the ocean and his hair is still perfect? It's like, how hard is that gel?
Yeah, and I watched the Cowboy Bebop opening back in the day,
Hmm.
you know, on the same video you did, Joey, and I did not realize how different it was
Oh,
from
it was-
everything else coming out
Yeah.
at that time.
It was such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it just made me realize, holy shit, this came out the same year as like Trigun, and I love Trigun. Trigun's like fantastic, but from an aesthetic point of view, Cowboy Bebop was so ahead of its time.
But even Trigun was kind of as well, because like, do you remember the Trigun opening?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's like no lyrics.
Yeah,
Which was like unheard of back in this day.
yeah.
Like every anime opening was like something you could sing along to, and Trigun and Cowboy Bebop were like, nah, let's just do an instrumental. Fuck it.
And we obviously Hajime no Ippo, my favorite sports anime of all time.
Yeah.
I never watched Hajime no Ippo.
You should.
You should. You would love it.
I,
so good.
I mean, it's
I love the art style of Hajime no Ippo. It looks
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. It's really
it's
cool.
not just the art. It's just like if you just want pure cocaine as an anime,
Yeah.
you watch Hajime no Ippo because you see some of these fights, and then you just come out like you're like, I need to like.
I need to start boxing.
I need to get rid of this adrenaline.
That's me whenever I see a Baki clip on Twitter.
Well, yeah, you're a Baki fan, so you definitely love Hajime no
I love
Ippo.
Baki.
Yeah.
And then there's
my
your
favorite.
favorite guy,
Love
Hina.
Hina.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Akasaka was fucking cooking with this one. Oh, Akamatsu,
No,
sorry.
Akamatsu, Ken
Yeah,
Akamatsu.
Akamatsu
yeah.
Ken.
It's fucking weird to see him in office now.
The dude who made Love Hina is a fucking politician.
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot about that.
He's a politician
Least
now.
strange Japanese politician.
Yeah, right. Do you remember Negima?
Yeah, I do remember Negima.
Negima, that's my favorite food.
No,
Yeah.
no. There was a manga that Akamatsu made after Love Hina called Negima, which was, now that I think about it, fucking weird concept.
It is a weird concept, but I feel like part of it was him just because I heard that the magazine he worked for he wanted to make a shonen manga,
Yeah.
but they were like, no, you should make another Love Hina. You should go make another Love Hina.
Which is funny because Negima ended up becoming
a
battle
shonen, a battle
yeah.
shonen.
But it
he
started
was
off
like,
as
all
like
right,
a full-on like rom-com ecchi.
yeah, you're like, all right, you wanna harem? How about fucking 30 girls?
Yeah.
in the harem.
30 girls, and you have
Yeah.
magical powers so strong that even if you just sneeze, all of the skirts get uplifted.
Yeah.
That was a continuous
wow.
gag that
I
they
will
did.
say it's weird to look back at Love Hina now and think that, Ken Akamatsu had this reputation of being like the king of panty shots. That's,
Oh, yeah.
That's this is the start. What a title, by the way. What a title.
Men when they wake up and decide their career.
But it's insane to think, looking back on Love Hina, just how tame the fan service was back in the day.
I'm like, these girls aren't even wearing a thong. It's like it covers the whole ass, and boys
Yeah.
back then were like, oh shit.
and now we have like borderline hentai airing on like
Not even
anime.
borderline. It's just like
Straight up
straight up.
Yeah, we're just straight up hentai. And I remember back in the day, I was like, oh my god, nothing's gonna get raunchier than Love Hina. Ain't no way.
Yeah, and then 20 years later, we got Ishizoku reviewers.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, I guess this
Okay.
is anime now.
Yeah.
Sure.
What
Yeah.
a cool era for anime, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. This
Yeah.
is
Bangers.
this, and I feel the next 5 years is definitely like golden era.
All right. Well,
No,
should
you
we
know
go-
how your dad talks about Ninja Scroll? This is like this era for me. You
Yeah,
know, where he's
true.
just like, I remember growing up on
Yeah,
Trigun,
true.
Cowboy Bebop.
True that.
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
All
All right,
right.
let's do it.
Because I was sitting in this cigar bar with Sydney,
Hmm.
and they were playing like the Cowboy Bebop OST. Holy shit, it was such a vibe,
Oh, it's
man.
fucking amazing.
Oh,
Yoko
it made me
Kanno-
want to rewatch Cowboy Bebop
Yoko
so
Kanno
much.
did not have to cook that hard.
Yeah.
All right, 2001 to 2005.
Oh my lord.
Oh yeah, this is now this era. This is the banger era. So you got.
I think the last year was better.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's this selection, but
I mean, even with this selection, I'm like, man, how'd you come back from? I mean, obviously we had Naruto in this
Yeah.
era, Monster, which obviously came out in this era, but I don't think it's something that defines this era.
why'd you put Elfen Lied on there?
I mean, that did define this era. It is
It is
iconic.
iconic,
It is
yes.
iconic. Maybe not for like the right reasons.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
Boogie
I
Pop
mean,
was huge. Shaman King was
I
huge.
never watched Boogie Pop, Shaman King, or Fully Cooley.
Oh my god, those are like 3 of my favorites on
Really?
this list. Yeah. Boogie Pop, I think, is one of the best light novels ever written.
What is it about?
Boogie Pop Phantom?
Yeah. I always thought it had a funny name.
Fuck, how do you describe Boogie Pop Phantom?
it's like a supernatural mystery show. Where,
Yeah.
Okay. Normally
If-
don't like those.
yeah.
And
where
it's like kind of Pulp Fiction-y in the sense that it's the same story told from multiple angles happening at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
It
kinda-
inspired.
okay, that's
So
kinda cool.
Boogie Pop Phantom was the one that directly inspired Nishio Ishin to start writing. So the creator of the Monogatari series, he called the author of Boogie Pop Phantom a genius.
Yeah.
And actually a lot of light novels, especially during the mid 2000s, were directly inspired from the
that's
author
cool.
of Boogie Pop
That's
Phantom.
cool.
Because
Yeah.
he basically defined the light novel genre.
I mean, looking at this era, do you know, this reminds me of, like, especially now looking back, you know, when like a new game console launches, and like the first 2-3 years are always just game developers figuring out how to like make good games on that game console. Like
tech
that's
demo.
This is what I feel like for this era,
Yeah.
where this is the era where anime started moving over to like digital animation,
Right.
Yeah.
and it's just like I would say we got the peak, we got some of the peaks of like traditional hand drawn animation in the previous era, And now we go into this era, and I'm just like, yeah, this Sully.
But this era, I'm looking at this list, and this is still on the cusp of like 99.9% 2D still.
Yeah.
You know?
No, like not 2D. It's digital versus like
Oh,
paper.
I see, I see.
Because I think Cowboy Bebop was like one of the very first digitally animated shows.
Yeah.
And that looked better than 90% of everything I see here.
What's
maybe
the
I can't
10%?
believe
Samurai Champloo?
Samurai Champloo
Samurai
and Fooly
Champloo
Cooly.
came out this
Pretty
year.
much.
That long ago. It feels like it's a modern show.
Wasn't Samurai Champloo in the 90s?
No.
Is it not?
It's 2004. I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
But even then, to me,
Oh, fuck.
Samurai Champloo feels like a 2010 show.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
feels like way ahead of its
I mean,
time.
Yeah.
it
It was.
still looks incredible.
Damn.
Did Samurai Champloo start the whole samurai and hip hop kind of
Yes.
like marriage?
Yes.
I mean, it
That's
just
insane to
works.
think about.
It
man.
it single-handedly brought lo-fi to the West.
That's insane to think about.
Well,
Cause,
Nujabes was yeah.
Because sometimes you just see this clash of like two things that on paper shouldn't seem like it works. Like I don't know why Eurobeat works so well with like street racing.
Well, it's
But
the
then
same
you-
thing with like Cowboy Bebop, right?
Yeah.
Like no one looked at this like sci-fi Western show and was like, let's put a really jazzy soundtrack on it.
Yeah.
It's like that doesn't sound like it works, but it did. Yeah.
Yeah. Go.
How
what a
Sing's
fucking genius,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
What an absolute fucking
Hamtaro? I
genius.
never watched Hamtaro.
I fucking loved Hamtaro growing up.
Is it like a comedy? What is it?
It's a kids show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a kids show about just these hamsters who go on an adventure. But
Right.
again, it's still big in Japan. Very cute.
Wait, so this is the first year that Full Metal Alchemist, the first one, came out. When did the second one come out? The Brotherhood.
2007.
Isn't that crazy to think that they remade a show that quickly after?
Yeah.
Like, if that happened now, we'd be like, wow, Disney, really? Remaking that movie already? But like, we like look back at that as like, wow, they really fucking did a W on this one. I guess
Yeah.
if the remake is good, people are like, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, this was the era where instead of just ending it where the source material was
Yeah,
up
you
to,
would just make shit up.
you would just make your own like your own anime original show.
Yeah.
or you would just end.
Yeah.
And never do it again.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think on this list, from what I've heard, the original FMA had a decent ending. For maybe not as good as Brotherhood, but I heard it was a decent ending.
definitely a lot darker, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, because it got into like World War II and shit, which I was like, wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then the Brotherhood didn't have any of that. Well, maybe they did, but very different.
Which one was it closer to the manga? Because I never read the manga.
So the Brotherhood was following the manga.
Yeah,
right?
Brotherhood
I see.
followed the manga, and that's the reason it got remade.
Yeah.
Because it was only like halfway.
it's
How
like
the fuck do I know this?
Yeah. Well, because you know anime history, guys.
So it's like a fruits basket situation, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think because FMA was just such a
Popular, they were like,
massive
"Fuck it,
hit,
run it
they were
again,
like,
run
all
it
right, we need
again."
to do this again. The fans are asking for it.
Again.
Round two,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. What's not here though is the end of Ava, where I'm pretty
Enough
sure
of that.
I'm pretty sure he made that because people wanted a fucking ending to Evangelion,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They were like, I don't want 5 episodes of sketches. Give me a fucking real ending.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Let me give you the most traumatic ending in the
Yeah,
entire.
but I mean,
canon.
I think I am glad that we've stopped the anime original trend. Sorry, the anime original ending trend.
Yeah.
There's only like 1 or 2 that I can think of that have a decent ending.
Like,
Well,
what are
like
they?
Hero.
Trigun as well.
Oh, they had an ending.
had a anime
right.
original ending that was decent
it
enough.
was all right.
It was fine.
was fine.
Does the manga go into like space?
What do you mean?
Don't they have like isn't like aliens or some shit?
Trigun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a spoiler for a
Sorry, spoiler.
like a 25, 30-year-old
Yeah,
anime,
I just
but
remember like watching it and being really confused why aliens showed up.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Well,
it was a sci-fi. It was like a.
yeah.
I mean, the new Trigun, very
Is in
much.
space, right?
Yeah, that
it leans
leaned
way
into
more
it.
into the sci-fi.
Okay.
That leaned into it
Again,
immediately.
I haven't watched Dragon in like 15 years. So
Yeah.
it's been a long time. Prince of Tennis. I never watched that, but I know you love it.
Prince, I fucking love Prince.
I know you
Tennis,
love Prince
yeah.
Tennis.
It's fucking like if you
I
love
probably
shows
could
like
rewatch
JoJo, you would love it because it's literally the
I
most
mean,
ridiculous fucking.
If you can
sports
make
show.
tennis cool, than
It's so cool.
props. 'Cause
excuse me, tennis
tennis is the least cool sport of all time.
It's fucking cool,
It is
man.
not.
Come on,
Bro,
Come on.
Tennis is not a cool
As
No
someone,
fucking way.
who played it for 10 years, it's boring as shit to watch.
No, it's not. Oh my, are you serious?
I think it's boring to watch.
Motherfucker,
it's
I'd
like-
take any tennis game over like cricket, baseball, all that shit.
I'd take cricket and baseball
cricket-
over
No
tennis.
fucking
What
way.
the fuck? Cricket is way more hype.
Yeah.
Tennis is such a beautiful art form, man. Fucking hell, man.
No, see,
Are
you were busy watching real tennis. I was watching Prince of Tennis. I was getting
Real
su-
tennis is so much
I was
better,
getting
man.
sucked into the Tezuka zone.
Bro, you watch one fucking Federer game and you're like, fucking Tezuka who? I don't
Federer Schmetterer, whatever,
Oh, shut
bro.
Oh, come on.
Who cares?
All right, let's go to next era.
can't
Then. Let's have a look
believe
what's in the next era.
This episode of Trash Taste is sponsored by World of Warships. Guys, do you like sea battles? Do you like epic looking ships? Well, World of Warships is the game for you. In World of Warships, you command a massive naval fleet featuring some of history's most iconic war vessels. Unlock new ships as you prepare to dominate the seas in World of Warships. It is a massive game that is also highly detailed. The weather effects make each battle unique and change the tactics of the battle. With every vessel being hyper accurate to the real thing, each battle will make you feel like you are there. And weebs, don't worry, World of Warships have got you covered because they've just integrated Arpeggio of the Blue Steel into their game. They've added new commanders like Yamato and Hyuga, each with full voice packs, along with new Arpeggio of the Blue Steel themed ships and skins. They've also enhanced the graphic with the game's sea and weather effects that have been beautifully updated. Did I also mention that World of Warships, including the Arpeggio of Blue Steel content, is also available on consoles? And you know what? Whether you want to play with friends or go alone, the choice is up to you. So, what are you waiting for? Go check out the collab and download World of Warships today by clicking that link in the description and get yourself some in-game bonuses and start your cruise with a bang. Thank you very much to World of Warships for sponsoring this episode of Trash Taste. Back to the video.
I'm pretty sure also said that some of these, from this point onwards, were not exactly when they were from, but when they were popular.
Yeah. All right, 2006 to 2010, I would say is getting close to, if not in, like, the most modern.
Yeah, this is
golden
like
age
all of
anime.
my favorite shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single one of these.
I mean, this is
fondly
the
remember.
era of Death Note and Code Geass, which is insane that they aired in the same year, along with Gurren Lagann as well.
Yeah.
Man.
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. That is crazy. They jumped right on that remake. That is an insane amount of like gap to
It fucking paid off, though.
It
Yeah.
did, but isn't that nuts? I feel like if you did that nowadays with literally anything, everyone would like make fun of them,
Yeah.
like relentlessly.
Yeah.
But then they would watch and they'd be like, hold up, they're cooking.
Maybe I don't even know. I feel like this is like what an insane thing. I just can't.
Yeah.
I just thought about that now. I was like, why has no one ever questioned that they re-released the show so quickly after?
I don't know.
God, 2007 was such a goated year for
Oh,
anime.
it's so good.
We
Black
got Gurren
Lagoon.
Lagann, Death Note, Code Geass,
Toradora.
and Bakuno in the same year.
I think Welcome to the NHK was also 2007, right?
I think that's 2006.
Was it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I
D.
think
Greyman, Oran High School Host Club, Toradora.
You know what? I
Clannad,
don't miss
Claymore.
Oran High School Host Club. I will just say that.
I like Oran. It's fun.
I did not like
It's
it
a
at
fun
all.
show.
I don't know, man. I just couldn't get it.
it's fun.
You
Also,
don't- you
also
don't
the fan
understand.
base was just
You are
worst.
tainted by the anime con like culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you
Oran,
are.
man.
Yes, is that not a valid reason?
No,
I've seen some horrendous shit come out of this fan base.
It also,
Basically, Joey, just don't go on Tumblr, and this would have been.
I couldn't help it, bro.
this
This and fucking Hitalia,
Yeah.
like scarred me for life from this kind of fan base.
this also is Oran High School Host Club is probably the #1 piece of effective propaganda in the world.
Oh my god,
In
yes.
terms of making host clubs look like these amazing, like delicate things, instead of the like
Sure.
kind of rancid, like abusive, like things that they actually are. Like host clubs are so much more gross in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been to one, so I wouldn't know. But
Been to 2.
I mean, yeah, you worked in one.
Film
So,
2.
yeah.
Yeah.
God, I still remember Barcano, man.
What a fucking.
Fuck, what an amazing show.
Still a great show. What's bottom middle? I can't read that.
Darker Than Black.
Darker
Than Black. Darker Than Black. Love
Yeah.
that show.
That was a great show.
Cool.
I think that was
One of the
2007 as well.
coolest concepts. as
So
well.
fucking cool.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't know.
I like the you to. Obviously, some other shows have done it, but I really like that they lean so heavily into the like you had to have like some something to
something to
Yeah.
like some
like,
price to
uncomfortable
pay.
thing.
Some price to pay.
Which I thought was such a cool idea, and I feel like although other shows have done it,
Yeah.
but this one did it so well.
Yeah, that's swag, you know.
It is swag.
This
swag.
one
Dark
had
and Black was swag.
man.
November 13 or 11, he had to smoke.
Yeah, he had to
hated
smoke.
smoking.
Yeah.
I just love. I was so, that burned into my mind. I don't even know what the main character's like drawback was.
I
Or
don't
if
think
even
he had one.
He didn't have.
yeah,
a,
because he got his powers in a strange way.
Yeah.
of course.
I remember the
cat that talked.
Sorry,
The cat that talked.
Yeah.
cat that
gave
talked.
permission.
Yeah.
And then the English one, he sounded like,
No, yo, he's a mission boy.
you should know. And he sounded like British. I don't know. It was weird.
Just remember that guy who had to like stack the stones exactly in like a
Oh,
square
yeah.
or something.
Oh,
there was
yeah.
they just had so many cool concepts in this one.
Yeah. Because if your power is so godlike, but it's so annoying to
Yeah.
do, it's like, well,
Yeah. Exactly.
such a good way to balance
yeah.
powers.
And also like Yoko Kanno killed it with the music.
Yeah. As she always
Dude.
does.
As she always does.
Protect the queen.
Yeah.
Do you remember Soul Eater?
I do.
I remember how, at least in the Western world, it was very hyped.
Soul Eater?
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, in Japan it
Was
was.
it
all-
Yeah,
also?
yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it was huge.
It was a show that
I saw
nobody
mid.
really talks about anymore, but everyone remembers fondly.
Because it was kind of mid.
You know,
I would say-
I would say it was a product of its time.
I would
Yes.
agree.
I would say at the time it was amazing.
It was
and
funny
hasn't
because
held up.
when Fire Force came out, which is done by the same
Yeah.
author,
Yeah.
I watched it and I was so disappointed in it that it made me go back and rewatch Soul Eater to confirm to myself if this was actually just mid. I'm like, is this better in my head or
Yeah,
like is
it
it
is.
still
So was
good?
it-
And
was it
it's
mid?
definitely better in my head.
Okay.
Like I feel I was at the right age and this was during the right period where a show like Soul Eater just worked.
Yeah.
But if you made an exact remake of it
I think-
today, I don't think it
Yeah,
would work.
It was a straight to the point shonen with fun characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That for the time was great.
Yeah.
But it definitely just hasn't aged.
It is very
it
much a
hasn't
product
aged.
of its time.
Yes.
And Fire Force is very much a product at the same time. That
I don't
came
know
out.
what fucking time Fire Force is a product of.
Yeah. It was
a
product
time I
of the
don't wanna
same
be in.
time that
Its
came
time
out
was
10
literally
years
one
later.
day.
Yeah.
It was time to stop.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
Afro
we also
Samurai.
got Spice and Wolf as well. This is
Yeah,
around
Alex,
the
let's
time
go.
that there's one show that I'm very, 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 very surprised that is not up here. Not going to call you out, Alex. But how the fuck is Haruhi not here?
I was about
Oh,
to
yeah.
say,
yeah, Haruhi Suzumiya.
Haruhi literally shaped this era.
Yeah. Haruhi.
Or I feel like Haruhi put anime on a train track of which it cannot get off.
The Haruhi like craze
Yeah.
during this period in Japan was like, it was like Beatlemania.
Yeah, but, like,
it was
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Because I feel like anime after Haruhi, it just follows Haruhi.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Everything it
I mean,
becomes it
yeah.
slowly diverges to becoming Haruhi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
It's like a weird way.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Haruhi wasn't exactly the first of like anything. It wasn't like the first light novel adaptation.
Yeah.
Wasn't the first high school anime.
They're the best.
But it was just, she was just such a force of nature that you can see the effect of like the kinds of shows that got adapted before Haruhi came out and the types of shows that got adapted after Haruhi came
Yeah.
out. You know, it even makes me wonder if something like Monogatari would have, gotten an adaptation if not for Haruhi,
not for Haruhi.
setting
Yeah.
the precedence of like, okay, let's get a quirky light novel adaptation. Let's see how well this does.
Well, I feel a lot of these shows, and I'm sure a lot of the shows on the next slide, wouldn't be around if it wasn't for Haruhi.
I have a question
Yeah.
about Afro Samurai.
Yeah.
Is it a good show? I've never watched it.
It is a good
I just
show.
know that the dub is Samuel Jackson.
Yeah,
It's alright.
it's a good show. I
It's
enjoyed
alright.
it.
It
It's
does
nothing-
everything you need to.
It's nothing to write home about, but
Yeah.
it's a fun show.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toradora. I tried rewatching Toradora the other day. Actually,
Tough.
it was tough.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I forgot.
It's long.
26 episodes. is it?
It's long.
Like, I know Tsunderes have like slowly been phased out, but I forgot how hard they went with like Tiger's character.
Oh yeah.
To like,
She's such a little shit.
I mean, I had trouble with it when it was airing. I don't know how I would react to it today.
yeah, I'm like,
If the tsundere lover is saying this shit, that's saying a lot.
it's like me and Sydney were watching this, and I remember like watching the first few episodes, rewatching the first few episodes. I was like, damn, she's kind of a bitch.
yeah,
isn't she?
Yeah.
she was.
She's
Yeah.
a total asshole.
She kind of just is really violent, and not in an anime way,
Like,
but
Ryuichi,
just
what are you doing, man?
I'm like, holy shit, she goes in hard.
Yeah.
How are we getting away
full-on
with this?
punches to the face. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
actual like violence.
Yeah. Actual domestic violence.
Yeah.
I am waiting for the Twitter apology to come out at any time right now. But yeah.
TW domestic violence.
Oh my god! What a cool era there.
Yeah,
that's
this is a goated era,
This is a
man.
goated era.
Alright.
Black Lagoon
Following
as well,
on to
fuck.
another goated era, because 2011, like 2007 and 2011 were 2 years in anime that I think were just like some of the greatest years of anime we've ever had. Imagine being in 2011, which
I mean, I don't have to imagine I was there.
You were there, and you think, damn, we got Hunter x Hunter, Steins Gate, Fate Zero, Madoka Magica, all in one fucking year.
And you thought to yourself, can we get much higher?
Yeah, and you thought to yourself, can we get much
gonna
higher?
judge you.
And then what came next? Sword Art Online, baby.
And Black Butler.
I mean, there's a couple on here where I'm like, I'm questioning, but
and Black Butler. Guys.
know.
Black Butler,
Guys?
yeah,
Guys?
it's
yeah,
What
yeah,
the fuck?
It's aight.
Fairy Tail is
it's
aight.
aight.
Mirai
It's aight.
Nikki
What
is
the
aight.
heck?
Hey man, Mirai Nikki shaped a whole generation, ruined a whole
Edge.
generation of boys.
Oh, 100%.
Fucking Yuno Gasai poisoned the well, man. We had respectable women before then, and then everyone's like, "Oh, I want a quirky girl that can kill
That
me."
can kill someone.
Yeah.
Oh, ha, 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 ha. It's like, shut up. Just shut up. Please. Interact with a real
I
woman.
wonder who the first yandere was. Because I know Yuno Gasai
Well,
popularized it.
Before Yuno Gasai, there was Kaede from Shuffle.
Oh,
Remember? The orange hair
yeah,
girl?
Yeah, but
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
she like the yandere?
She was the yandere at the time.
Oh, okay.
And then also every female from Higurashi as well.
Yeah.
Was
Right.
that was the previous era. That was like 2006,
Yeah.
right, we
2007.
just kind of decided what happened in was it the 2008 financial crisis that made us want like to have women that would kill us? Like what happened to dudes?
I don't know.
Like what?
I
what
don't know,
happened?
man. I don't know.
Yeah, dude saw like was it Yuno Gasai? Yeah. and
Like
they
it's
were-
like yeah, because a
Like,
lot of these
I can
shows like
fix her.
depression.
Yeah. This she started
She
the
started
I can fix her trend
meme.
by herself.
Yeah.
Also,
And
some of
boys were never the same since.
some of these shows feel so old, but some of these feel are so much like Deadman Wonderland doesn't feel like it's from the same age as Psychopaths.
That's true.
Deadman
Yeah.
Wonderland feels like a 2000 show.
I mean, the ending was absolute garbage for Dead
Yeah.
Man Wonderland.
Well, the anime never got one. It kind of just ended.
No, even the
Yeah.
manga, the ending was kind of mid.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I kind of sad Deadman Wonderland. We never got to see at least it play out
Yeah.
because it was kind of fun, but the anime kind of just ended, which sucked.
God, Blue Exorcist. I remember everyone was kind of talking about that at one point, and then all of a sudden, no one talked about it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it wildly popular in Japan as well?
Very popular in Japan.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how popular the remakes were because
Not very. I don't know.
I don't think it
I've-
was.
Yeah, because I remember watching Blue Exorcist, and it was just I enjoyed it as like a
Yeah,
shonen.
It's a good
action
shonen.
show. Not anything different. I mean, I would say it's actually worse than Soul Eater back in the day, which I enjoyed a lot more.
Is that your nostalgia talking?
What?
Is that your nostalgia talking? Though?
I mean, I watched both at the same era,
Yeah.
and I was just like, Blue Exorcist, it's I'm probably gonna forget it, and I did.
I mean,
Soul Eater-
that's kind of the same with everyone with Blue Exorcist. No one really.
No
talks
one,
about it.
no one remembers what happens in Blue Exorcist.
I don't know. Is
I
an
already know what
exorcist, then he
happens.
turns.
I
blue.
watched every episode of the show. And I don't know what the fuck
The
happened.
only things I remember were the openings because they were fire.
Yeah, the first one is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, that's
I don't
okay.
remember that.
It was the Uverworld opening.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's back when
oh.
Uverworld was the king.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It was when
yeah.
Uverworld was doing
Every
everything.
opening was Uverworld.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I was singing the Bleach opening.
Yeah,
Not the Blue Exorcist one.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I swear I had it. No, I can't music. Okay, well, now I gotta play.
I would remember it if you played like
Okay,
2 seconds.
okay,
of
well,
it.
fine.
No, the Bleach Uverworld opening goes. I don't think that's Bleach.
That's not Bleach.
That's not Bleach.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was like,
That one's.
I remember
Bang.
trying to do that Osu track for ages. And I couldn't do it.
The Uverworld one for Bleach was like. Wasn't it like da 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 da? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
God,
God, dude, this era and the previous era, I will say, peak for anime openings.
Well, I mean,
well.
I mean, come
is
on.
that nostalgia talking,
Yeah,
Joey?
No.
Is that nostalgia
In
talking?
terms
I
of
think it's
actual
nostalgia
quality
talking, Joey.
of
I
the
think it's
music.
nostalgia. You know, we're gonna be in 10 years, and people are gonna be like, "Yo, the Jujutsu Kaisen opening, iconic." That's where.
No,
anime
okay,
openings
no,
peak.
granted, Jujutsu Kaisen first opening at least, it's fucking great.
You're gonna be like Idol. That's like peak anime.
No, I
opening,
never
man.
enjoyed that opening.
regarding
Motherfucker,
I think that's a crap opening.
Idol was a great opening.
It's
man.
such an annoying.
It's a
song.
good opening.
it's kind of a good.
Same with fucking
You just
Bling
don't like
Bong
the song.
Bong.
It's a
or
good
whatever the fuck.
opening.
It's such an annoying song.
Like it's really popular, but holy shit, it is a
It
good
can be
opening.
popular and a good joke.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
What?
Joey?
Things that are popular can't be good.
No, yeah, this era,
Okay.
a lot of the openings
Okay,
were fucking
okay.
popular and they were good.
All right. So with Madoka Magica, right?
Yeah.
I remember I watched it, and then there was like a movie, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened in that show? Because I remember like I watched it and I was confused.
Wait,
and
the
confused.
movies?
No, everything.
Oh, I never watched
Wait,
the movies.
the show wasn't confusing.
What do they do in the show again?
They kill witches.
Yeah.
That's right, but doesn't it get like really weird at one point? They go to like school, and then I was like,
Well, they are in
and
school.
then they like kill God. They
That's the movie, that's the
they kill
movie.
God.
That's the
Okay,
movies,
they
yeah.
kill God in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it gets
I
mad
think-
existential by the end.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the movie made me confused with the entire. I think I misunderstood what everything was about.
Yeah. The movie.
Did the movie make sense unless you watched the series?
I watched the series.
You had to
and
watch the
movies.
series.
I watched the
Yeah.
movies and the series
Yeah.
Oh.
So
in the correct order.
So the series, like, it's the ending of the series wasn't like the easiest to understand. It wasn't like a
Yeah.
standard anime thing, but it was still relatively easy.
Because
What was
Madoka
the
becomes
ending?
like a goddess
Yeah,
or something, right?
Madoka becomes a god.
Yeah.
Resets the world, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that's right.
To a world without witches.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that's
And now she's unemployed.
and now she, I guess.
Oh,
she's,
so and then the movie picks up from that because she's in school.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember because she was like, I remember I was really confused. Like, why is she not like killing witches?
Maybe it's just. Did you watch the series, the movie back to back?
Yes.
Okay, then I don't.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
I was gonna be.
Then,
Oh.
then at that point, it's just a skill issue.
Yeah, you know what?
Can't help you there, bro.
Also, this whole era put me off anime movies because the anime movie would always be shit.
No, wait, is this during the time where you fucking watched the Haruhi movie?
Yes, okay, no.
Before, and not
Okay.
watched Haruhi?
Yes, that did happen. But after that,
still makes me mauled.
After that, well, okay, you have to blame my anime list for being very confusing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They did not lay it
Yes,
out.
Disappearance was always at the highest.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they did not fucking explain what it was. I just
Yeah.
watched it because I
True.
thought it was good.
That's fair.
Okay, so what I was saying is that this is the era when a lot of anime movies came out that I just found like, especially when they were supplementary to the series, they were just very weird and confusing.
Probably because most of them were shonen anime movies,
Right.
Which to me are
The lowest form of media.
Kinda, yeah, because they are just high budget filler. a lot of
Yes,
the times.
yes.
I mean, I love One Piece, but like 90% of the One Piece movies are so forgettable.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, all of these, like that too, like all of this stuff combined made me just see anime movies as like inferior to the anime TV.
Yeah, I mean, it
Like,
wasn't
just, like,
until
a money-making machine.
It wasn't until Demon Slayer just revolutionized the
Yeah.
the movie industry that the industry started thinking, oh wait, do people actually want
watch-
the movies to have consequences?
Yeah.
You know, wait.
They want it to be canon?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
You can do what they did anyway and just split it up into a TV show if you want and throw that out.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
Because
because
they just found a infinite money hack with the movies.
This is what I do in
Yeah.
my live streams.
Well,
I do a live stream, then I cut it down.
I also think that kind of like approach wouldn't have worked too far back in the past because I feel like the reason they're able to get away with this now is because of the internet. You know, you talk
course,
about
yeah,
like
yeah.
Marvel movies, like having a one continuous storyline where you have to like catch up to like every movie beforehand.
that's true.
I think that would have not been possible before the era of the internet. So you know, made sense for it now. Didn't necessarily make sense for it back then. But yeah, a lot of shows here. It's
I
actually
can't believe Kill la Kill is in this era.
Well, this also felt like the era where like anime started getting really popular in the Western world.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
This is roughly around where like the whole, I'd say the entirety of the 2010s we saw such a massive boost.
Yeah, because I'm assuming it's going to come up in the next slide.
Yeah.
But 2013 also was the year of Attack on Titan.
Yes.
And I think it's going to come up in the next slide because that's when Attack on Titan got super, super popular. But yeah, I mean, I remember we had... Oh, do you know what else I remember aired this year that I think was pretty revolutionary?
What?
Free.
Oh my god, yeah. Free dominated.
Yeah.
Just
Free
Kyoto Animation.
Free was
at this
very
time as
popular.
well.
Yeah,
It's just insane.
Free. I remember when Free released, and like so much of the animation in like the anime community was just like anime is ruined. Anime is ruined.
Did they really?
Yeah. Because do you remember the meme like Trigger saved anime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That came about because Kill la Kill aired
Yeah,
the
of
season
course, I
after
remember that
Free
one, yeah.
Free was airing, and it was just like the anime industry going, wait, girls like fan service as well? What? Nani? That works too?
To be fair, I unironically watched Free.
Free's good.
And
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah,
I think
it's
the
good.
reason why Free was so popular is because it was like it had a semi-decent story.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't just like pretty
Characters
boy
were
does
likable.
things. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. The animation was great,
Oh, dude, Kyoto Animation cooked.
It was
with Free.
amazing.
It was crazy.
Kyoto Animation never doesn't cook.
No.
and then Mappa made Yuri on Ice and just refused to ever do anything with it.
Yeah.
They hated Yuri on Ice. Why don't they make any more? Is that going to show up? That was fucking huge.
That was 20.
Yeah.
I think that was the next
All right,
slide.
well, let's go.
2016, I believe.
Let's go next year.
I
Then.
believe.
Check it
Let's
out.
go, let's go next year.
God, I'm looking at these and I'm like, I can remember all the openings
Yeah,
to
'cause-
all these shows.
We had Free, right?
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, "Shit, maybe this like hot boys trend is over there."
Yeah.
Like, Yuri on Ice.
Here we go.
Did he
Attack
put-
on Titan.
Did you put Free there?
No.
No. You didn't put Free on the slides. What the
It's
fuck?
all right. He made it at 3 a.m., guys. Come on. Come on.
Free was game changing.
Yeah. So Attack on Titan was this. This is definitely the era.
This is like Charlie's list of anime.
It's crazy because like all of these shows, I remember when they came out and like them
Yeah.
impacting the community for at least for the separate periods of time.
Yeah,
like,
if you
God, when No Game No Life came out,
Yeah.
do you
Oh my
remember
God.
that shit?
Yeah,
It was fucking
because
everywhere.
finally it was an anime for gamers.
yeah.
Yeah,
They'd finally learned that gamers like anime too.
yeah,
Yeah, but I would also say that this was the era where the anime community started branching off from each other. Before this, I would say there was a much more homogenous feel to the anime community, and this is about the time period where anime started to be like, oh, I only watched Attack on Titan or One Punch Man.
yeah. Or
What
My
the fuck is an
Hero.
origami? What the fuck is a
Fuck is an
haiku?
origami.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Oh my lord. yeah.
So,
all of these shows feel pretty iconic in their own right.
I still don't understand why Noragami was as popular as it was. Why was it that popular?
Tumblr, innit?
Was it though?
I think it was honestly, I swear I saw more of the blonde kid online than anything. He was so popular. For
Oh,
some
the
reason.
side character.
I don't know why.
Really?
I feel like Tumblr just love a useless side character who they can turn into like their hero. I don't know if am I crazy? Did you see that blonde guy everywhere? Am I insane?
No, I saw Yato.
I saw Yato.
I feel
everywhere.
like
Yato was
Yato
everywhere.
was like shit at his job.
Well,
That's what was like endearing about him.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't find that endearing.
He's like
Yeah.
he's like the klutz that also fucking pulls through when he locks in.
Yeah.
When he gets when his eyes start glowing blue, like he's locking in.
Speaking of locking in, Terror and Resonance. They locked in into terrorism.
Yeah.
And it worked.
And Yoko kind of fucking locked in with the soundtrack.
Yeah, still, in my opinion, the best anime soundtrack
Yeah.
of all time.
I've still never... all my times, right, I go to Japanese bars and talk about... Whenever I bring up Terror and Resonance, they never fucking heard of it.
Oh no,
Yeah,
this
No
is
one
definitely
ever- they who me. They're like, what is that?
I mean, Terror and Resonance, even in the anime community, is not that big.
Yeah.
it's kind of like an underground gem.
But I remember when it aired, everyone was talking about it. At least in Western.
I mean,
but
I
then
think-
again, I decided what everyone was talking about based on what Giga said in his videos.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone stopped talking about it just because a lot of people didn't like the ending,
Right.
Or like the second half of the series. I still really, really liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
And also, it had the balls. So, I don't know if you remember this.
What?
I don't. I do not remember anything.
So I remember when it was airing. It might have been a happy coincidence. Might not be. They aired episode 11 on September
Yes.
11th.
Oh yes, I remember this. That's when like a building blows up, right?
And I was like, what the fuck? Well, what is this coincidence right now?
That's
Yikes.
Also, we have Tokyo Ghoul as well.
Oh, yes.
With
Just that bottom row.
the
That bottom trifecta there.
the bottom trifecta.
Fucking, I can't make a kill. And we've spoken about this so many times about how popular it was. It was so popular
So popular, but my
because it was
God.
so good. Okay.
Don't even.
Okay, I'm kidding.
You're going to say the same thing about Seven
What's,
Deadly
what's,
Sins?
No.
too?
what's the
No.
greatest anime OP of all time?
Oh my God, that's so hard. In this era? Or of all time?
Of all time.
I mean, I think
Why
that
is it
there's
unraveled?
definitely an argument for it. Like I think you can't say it's not in the top 3
Yeah.
Unraveled is up there.
in terms of
but
iconicness.
Yeah. In terms of like just an
Yeah.
actual
I
something
can't
got
believe-
popular.
if we're talking
and
about
an
iconic,
actual-
yes.
You know what's crazy? ReZero came out, and it takes so goddamn long for us to get more ReZero.
Yeah. Which we are just
No
getting.
Game No Life came out in the same like range. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
Yeah.
it's been 10 years since No Game No Life.
Are we on season 2 or 3 of ReZero?
3.
3.
Like season 3's coming out? Or
Yeah,
season-
season
Isn't
three's
that
coming out.
fucked?
Yeah.
And,
And
nothing
we've
happened
had-
last season.
And we've had how many seasons of My Hero Academia?
oh my
Yeah.
god.
What are we on now? Like 8?
Yeah,
Yeah, but this was when My Hero Academia, I still
Oh,
very
my
much
fever.
enjoyed it.
The
I still,
fever.
my
Yeah.
favorite fight of My Hero is still the very first All Might fights. Just something about that was just so pure.
Not gonna lie, bro. Don't remember.
the hype around that show was immense as well.
You know
Honestly,
what I
there's a
don't
lot
understand?
going
Why
on.
Erased got so popular.
No, it's a fucking mystery. To this day, I don't think anyone can understand.
Still has one of the like most. I'm not gonna say worst, but definitely wrong direction endings ever
Oh, yeah.
for a show of its
Yeah.
kind. To answer your question about the best anime opening of all time, my personal pick is
Yeah.
the Air Gear opening.
That's a banger opening.
Yeah, you gotta
Joe,
admit,
But
it's-
who the fuck in this day and age remembers the Air Gear opening?
You
Joe?
do.
I remember
Alex
it.
does.
I
Yeah,
remember
but
it.
it's Gaunt's job to remember it.
But that's what I'm saying is a personal pick, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
In terms
you
of
know-
iconicness, like, I don't know, first Attack on Titan opening as well was
That
fucking
is
insane
iconic,
when it
yeah.
came out.
It's also hard, I think, to judge. Obviously, we have so many shows now, and there's a lot more shows coming out.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's hard to look on this era because it still feels so blended in with the current era that we're in.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
because
this-
a lot of these shows are still
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
these are still going. I feel
Yeah, 'cause
like
anime production is, although so many more shows come out, it's become slower.
Yeah.
Like shows are airing slower.
But I think this is the era that very much started the modern era of
Yeah,
anime
yeah,
that we
yeah.
have now. And
Yeah.
then when Jujutsu Kaisen comes out, that's going to be when it steps into an even bigger
Oh,
gear.
yeah.
It's like Attack on Titan started this era, and then season 4 is going to start the next era along with Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you look at like the Google Trends of like anime, it's like the most like biggest spike in recent years. I think is Jujutsu Kaisen,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
and I think for Crunchyroll, it like upped their numbers a ton.
Yeah.
People just wanted to watch Jujutsu Kaisen
Exactly. You have I mean
Well, it's because a lot of people who watch Jujutsu Kaisen only watch Jujutsu Kaisen.
because it's good, right?
Sure. It's alright.
All right, should we go to the next era then?
yeah.
I mean, this is, yeah. I mean, we could talk about a lot here, but I
can't
feel
believe
like,
Made in Abyss came out during this time.
yeah, right.
It feels so much more recent.
Because we get one Made in Abyss episode a year.
Yeah.
we get,
Alright, 2018 to
Lord.
2020. This was when I was on my final straw.
you're fine. This was your 14th reason.
This is like this era was when I'm like, all right, I think I might start packing
but I
it in.
feel
soon.
like-
Now
got
I
so many
see the top
bangers.
left and I'm like, banger.
Oh, see.
Yeah, we got so many bangers this
I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
bangers on this list. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong.
I mean, we're literally trying to like smash in like 3 amazing years of
JoJo
anime.
Part 5 banger, Beastars banger, Devilman Crybaby banger, Mob Psycho banger. What else is there? Golden Kamuy was pretty
Dorohedoro, which we're
good.
getting another season of 4 years later,
Yep.
5 years later. Fuck me, dude.
Yep.
See, we're waiting so long for anime seasons now.
Yeah, we are. That's just because there's so many anime being made right
Yeah.
now.
They gotta cut like half the anime they're making.
Oh yeah.
We need like an X
Absolutely.
Factor for anime.
Yeah.
Or like a Simon Cowell type judges. What's allowed to be made?
It's the only way we can kill the isekai genre.
Sorry, love. You've already made 15 isekais.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 2018 and 2019 were both goated years for anime with shit like Mob Psycho coming out.
Sure.
Megalobox.
And Goblin Slayer, right?
Goblin Slayer.
I
that came out
I
in
look
this
so
era.
fondly back at Megalobox. That
Yeah,
was such a
Megalobox.
fun-
Megalobox was so good.
Was good. I
it
believe
was such
Vinland
hype.
Saga came out in 2019 as well.
Oh
Violet
my god.
See,
Evergarden.
this is where my like
Tomato.
memory comes back because from 2013 onwards, I started doing the yearly anime recaps.
Yeah.
So that's why I can
Yeah,
remember
this is-
every big anime
This
coming
is
out.
like, honestly, we'd get to that point where like there's so many good shows per season, per year that we definitely probably look at it every
Yeah.
year. But I mean, like, you can definitely see the style shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, do you think every generation of boys from Yuno Gasai onwards is just gonna have a fucking pink-haired girl ruin their fucking ruin them?
Yeah.
Because holy shit, Darling in the Franxx should not have been as big as
Oh
it
my
was.
God.
But it was not big for Darling in the Franxx. It was big for 02, man.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how popular that show was, given how mid it was?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like you could not go to a convention where someone was not cosplaying 02.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And then we got to do the second half of the show, and everyone went like, "Oh."
It's like, we went to space. Aliens.
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 Just the whole story was like, "No."
Trigger was
really?
like, we'll take it from here.
"Oh man." At least JoJo Part 5 was fucking sick.
Yeah,
Part 5
JoJo.
was
This
sick.
is like JoJo at this peak as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, this was
in
peak
terms of
JoJo.
like popularity before Netflix took over.
I hope Part 7 will revive.
Yeah, this era is defined by JoJo memes and Demon Slayer episode 18 or 17.
Yeah.
Have you
And
seen
Darling
now?
in the Franxx episode 14. Remember the controversy of that episode?
What was the controversy of that episode?
It was the blue-haired, the short-haired blue-haired chick.
Yeah.
Oh.
What was it? Like Confess to Love or something?
That's like the least.
Because this was
That's
that.
like the tamest domestic girlfriend episode.
yeah.
It was like the year after the whole like I love Amelia meme. That
Yeah.
that was just over the internet for a while. Then
Yeah.
it's just like another blue-haired girl gets cucked. How many?
Yeah.
They can't keep doing this.
It's true. It's true. They do be cooking the blue head.
Yeah. It's always a
And,
blue-haired chick.
and Toradora. They cooked the blue head girl.
Yeah.
She got cucked too. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Justice for blue girls.
Basically, if you are a blue-haired girl
You get
in a
fucked.
love triangle, fucking, you are
Love
good,
cycle.
good luck. GG.
Dude,
cut
Devilman
out.
Crybaby was so good.
So good. Fuck.
It was
Fucking
so high.
insane.
And what a
Yeah.
fucking awesome ending.
I don't get people who are like, I hated it.
It was amazing.
Like, how do you hate it?
Do you think it would have been bigger if it wasn't the Netflix release and it was airing week by week? Because I feel like with Devilman Crybaby, it got so much hype, and then
I think so.
everyone
honestly, yeah.
everyone stopped talking about it so fast.
I am fond now of the new trend of releasing, which is release 3 episodes right away, which the boys
The arcade
did.
method.
I like it. I think it's a genius way of getting everyone fucking pumped and then being
Yeah.
like, stay with me now for 2 more months.
Yeah,
It's such a good-
honestly,
yeah.
I like it as well.
Because who wants to watch 1 episode of something? I don't
Yeah.
want to watch something the first week.
That's why I always
I fuck with the 3.
the
drop in
3 is like a good number. The 3
It's
is
such a good
number.
idea.
Yeah, because
I get sucked in.
I personally always waited to marathon at least like 3-4
Yeah, yeah, me
episodes
too, me
anyway. Because 1 episode is just way too short.
Yeah, like Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, I waited like 4 episodes, 5 episodes. And I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
Now I can sink my teeth in and get pumped every week.
Yeah, and I feel like it's the perfect middle ground to like the Netflix binge culture,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
just makes everything so forgettable, and
It's a
the
good
weekly
method.
culture, which
Yeah, I love it.
is not enough for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how manga readers do it, man.
I don't know how they do it.
That's like 5 minutes of content
They'll be like,
per
this,
week.
they'll be like, this new manga's so fucking good. It's gonna be so good, and it's got literally like,
And then you
it's
live
got
long-
literally like 10 seconds of plot.
And then you live long enough to become a Hunter x Hunter fan.
Yeah, what was
Where
that?
it's like, he'll be back.
What was that?
We just have to
one-
wait 6 years.
What was that one panel, that one new edgy manga that aired like a year ago, and literally the first
Kagurabachi?
yeah, and like literally it was all people spoke about for the first chapter, and I never heard a word about it.
Well,
after, like,
it's because
a
it
month.
became a meme. Like, so
Yeah.
much so that the creator of it was, like, legitimately thought that. He was like, wow, I've only released 2 chapters, but the online audience loves it for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, right.
To be fair, I read a little bit of it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but there's not a lot to at the time when people were talking about it so much. There was nothing.
Oh,
to
yeah,
go
no.
off of.
I don't know how that meme started, but it was funny.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, a good era.
So yeah, this was
Good
yeah,
era.
I
Promised
guess.
Neverland when that was everything, and then wow, how
And
the
then
tables
it was
turned.
nothing.
And then there was
How the
nothing.
tables turned.
Yeah, how the tables have turned, man. Demon Slayer. God, I hate you hate to see I hate to admit how big of a
Impact.
big of an impact.
Oh
Demon
my
Slayer.
God.
I thought it was
Yeah.
impressive that they managed to finally capitalize on success. And they were like, finally, let's pump out another season.
Yeah,
by the
was
way.
it this era or was it the era before? When did Your Name come out?
Before.
20. Did it come out during COVID?
No.
No, definitely
No,
not.
because I
I was living in Thailand.
Yeah, because I remember
Okay.
you, when I went to Japan, you were talking about it.
So
a lot. It was like
2017?
2017 or something. Yeah,
2016,
yeah.
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, cause so 2016, 2017.
2016.
So just before this era is when they started figuring out how to do anime movies. And I don't mean
Yeah.
doing anime movies, doing good anime movies, but like releasing
Cinematic.
it internationally to be
Yeah.
a financial success. Because Your Name was such a revolutionary thing for anime films in theaters, and then Demon Slayer Mugen Train was just blew that out the water.
It's crazy how popular
And
that was.
now it seems like the new meta is if you have something big going on, make it a movie.
Yep.
I was very, very surprised when they didn't make the end of Attack on Titan
Yeah.
a movie,
Yeah.
because I think that would have worked even better for it if they were going to do that kind of release.
Sure.
Should we go to the next slide? Is it the next era?
Next slide.
Next slide.
What I'm also learning from looking at this is that there are a lot of shows that are very popular at the time that just haven't really stood the
Sustained.
test.
No,
of-
this
yeah.
is
Yeah.
when we get to the point where like the hype for it while it's airing gets big, but then the moment it's finished, it's like no one's talking about
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
My Dress Up Darling, for instance.
Oh
Who the
my
fuck's
God.
talking about that show anymore?
Well, that's because it don't have a season 2.
No, it's because the manga got mid. That's why.
Yeah, but also, the manga to get mid gone. I heard that from Joey.
Okay.
So, but
I'll tell you what didn't get mid. Rent a
Vinland
Girlfriend.
Saga- oh, yeah, because it went worse than mid.
How can it get worse?
Dude, Cyberpunk, holy shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, what
Yeah.
a good
Hell
fucking
yes.
show. Tokyo Revengers, my god.
I never understood the hype.
No, me neither.
I'm
I-
like, no shot. These kids are 14. You cannot convince me.
I've never had a more frustrating anime watching experience than watching that show.
I think I just don't. I don't like delinquent anime.
No,
think-
no, I don't either. Because Japan doesn't do delinquents well.
They
They
just
don't-
do
they
it in a
don't-
really corny way where it just becomes unbelievable.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I've been watching this season. I was watching like Windbreaker, which has way better animation than Tokyo Revengers and
Yeah.
way better action. But it's still very much just a delinquent anime, and I have like a hard time buying the fact that these boys are fighting life or death, having like gang
Yeah.
fights over
Yeah.
in high school.
I'm like, your balls are barely dropped. What are you getting into fist fights?
I feel like because they're like RPing like
Yeah.
delinquents. They're like,
Yeah.
it's like a Japanese person is imagining what a delinquent must be like.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's
It's like-
yeah,
it's like-
and it's also
you
like
just don't have them.
and also like a show like Tokyo Revengers was clearly aimed towards kids who are probably of or around the same age as these characters.
But it was so,
they
popular with women in Japan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's so
yeah
popular
because
with women
because
in
they were
Japan.
like he's kind of a badass and I kind of find that to be attractive.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
no
like
no. Huh?
Mikey?
Mikey,
God,
yeah.
Mikey is probably like the single worst character I've experienced in the past 5 years.
Yeah,
of
but he
anime.
also gets the most bitches in real
But
life.
why?
I don't get it. Japanese women love Mikey.
But
Or, like,
Mikey is
a character
literally
like that.
a shitty ass character. I hate to like Mikey slander, but I just don't like Mikey.
Dude, I don't give a fuck. I'm not the defender
Actually,
of
you know,
Mikey.
I think actually, you know what? No, they all suck.
No, they all suck.
The main character also sucks.
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
Yeah. Okay. This is gonna sound weird looking back now. When did Jujutsu Kaisen get popular?
I think it was right from the get go.
Yeah, right from the get go. It was really popular right away.
Really?
I think it's
feel-
Gojo just fucks.
I might have been the first Gojo fight scene actually.
The
Yeah.
very first scene where he's like, "Hey, can you let him have the controller for a second?" It's kind of high. It was kind of cool, and the whole setting, and when he goes to like the like.
Oh
the
no,
sorceress.
it's the scene where Gojo reveals his eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's-
he
that's
does
what
this
I
shit.
remember.
so high.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember before that, I remember a lot of people were just like, "Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen is gonna be the next big shonen," and then you watch a few episodes and you're like, "Oh, this kind of is like Bleach, I guess,
Yeah.
a little bit." But then they have Gojo, and
Gojo fucks.
That was the one mistake Bleach had. They didn't
They
have
didn't
a
have a
hot
Gojo.
character
They
with
had
eyes
Gojo?
like that. If they had a character like Gojo,
yeah,
they tried with Kenpachi, but it just wasn't the same.
Something about Gojo just fucks hard.
yeah,
Bocce the Rock.
Yeah, we're not.
we
Honestly,
allow that. We allow that.
I want to say there are a lot of mid shows.
Yeah, why do you think I stopped, bro? No, I'm just kidding.
Like, there's a lot of good ones here, but there are a lot of ones that you didn't.
Hey man, like fucking, Kaguya-sama.
86? No one liked 86. Actually.
All right.
Horimiya?
I mean, yeah, Horimiya was garbage.
I mean,
Odd Taxi was great at the time, but I don't think anyone talks about Odd Taxi anymore.
that's because it did everything it needed to do.
Yeah.
It tied everything up, and
It didn't clarify, it just left.
You know,
yeah,
anime is like fast fashion now. We just can't appreciate what we had.
it is.
It
It
is,
is
100%
fast fashion.
it
We
is.
just
Yeah,
want- like, no one
100%.
talks about, like, even like something like Cyberpunk. There was anime of the year. Everyone loved it. No
Yeah.
one talks about it
That's
anymore.
that's why I'm afraid the same thing is going to happen to like shows like Free Rent, for instance, where it's
Right,
like
right.
I feel like
The
the,
moment it's
more
done.
the moment it's done, I feel it's just going to fall off like all of these other shows have, because like except for actual goated shows like Vinland Saga, for instance.
Yeah.
But like a lot of these shows, like when they were airing, it was like all the community was talking about, and now
Like Blue Lock
most
as well.
of these
Oh my
no one
God.
really talks about it anymore.
Like Blue Lock was everywhere.
yeah,
And now Blue Lock is nowhere.
I mean in Japan it's still everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's more. I feel like it's propaganda.
Yeah, it is.
They're
It is.
like, you will play football.
Yeah.
You will like football.
No, it was more like, ladies, you will fall in love with these characters.
I feel like it was football propaganda.
No,
That's why I didn't work in the UK.
It,
We already had it.
it
We
was
already-
it was the opposite way around.
You think so?
Where I feel like Blue Lock got such a huge push because of how well Japan
Did,
performed
yeah, in the World Cup, right?
They had some historic wins,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's any coincidence
And then
that
that
Blue
one
Lock
crazy
was
goal.
the top selling manga of that year. If Japan just fucking just like laid down and died, ain't no way Blue Lock would have been as popular, man. Ain't no fucking way, you know.
So I'm saying it's propaganda, God. It's
It was just like it was just two things coinciding with each other, that just happened to be the stars aligning.
Yeah.
Where a
It was-
manga
it was-
about
It was trying to propagandize that you should be a more selfish player if you play football.
look,
in Japan.
look. The whole concept
got
of
it.
Blue Lock is just like Japan sucks at football. Let's build an academy to get Japan to do well in the World Cup. And what happens? Japan fucking pops off in the World Cup.
you-
Who could have asked for better marketing, man?
Did you see that tweet that was like, "Nah, man, can't watch Portugal play. It feels like Ronaldo is the homelander of that." It was such a good. It felt like the entire team is afraid of Ronaldo. God, no, let him kick the ball. Let him kick.
That's so true.
It's so true, right? Yeah, there was so many tweets that were like, "Nah, why is the team afraid to talk to Ronaldo?" Oh my god, that is literally just the plot of Blue Lock.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Yeah.
you should be Ronaldo.
Yeah.
You should. You should. Oh my god.
And yeah, I mean, like, people still, like, a lot of the reason people still talk about many of these IPs is basically if there is a weekly manga running.
Yeah.
You know, people still talk about Chainsaw Man, but that's mostly because of the
I'd
manga.
like to think that even if Chainsaw Man or Vinland Saga still stop, we'd still be talking about them. I feel like they've earned their longevity.
I feel like Vinland Saga has, but Vinland Saga transcends anime.
I even think
in my
Chainsaw
opinion.
Man has. Even if Chainsaw Man stopped tomorrow, I feel like we'd still be talking about Chainsaw
I don't
Man
know
5
yet
years
because
from now.
I've not read what happens later in the Chainsaw
I think
Man
even just of
manga.
the anime.
Of the anime?
Yeah, I think it's.
I don't
it's
think
done
the
well
anime
enough.
made that big of an impact though.
I feel like it'll be what Akame ga Kill was.
No,
Like, we'll look back at it and be like, yo, that was
No.
cringe.
Like,
way.
as in, like, what Akame ga Kill was to 13-year-old boys is what
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man is now. To
I think
13-year-old
Chainsaw Man is way more, but like I think the reason why not many people still talk about the anime right now is because the anime really didn't have enough episodes to
No.
It kind of came and went.
yeah
They had 12 or
make an impact
12?
we're at like 12 or 13.
Yeah, if they'd 25, would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have. They should have made more, but I guess they didn't have as much. And also, they decided to animate every opening and ending.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
and-
they
and
went a bit
crazy.
too ambitious on that.
That was a bit much.
It was a bit much. It was cool,
cool.
Yeah.
cool,
But
but,
I would have liked to have been able to stew on some
yeah,
of
Yeah.
bit, a little unnecessary.
that. But
Yeah, and we had the ending of Attack on Titan in this
Yeah.
era as well. And I
Yeah.
think, like, to me, Attack on Titan season 4, at least, or final
Oh my
season,
God.
whatever part, that I feel like that felt like the first time anime was like that was kind of like an event in anime.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
like the final season of Breaking Bad. That was like the first time where if you were an anime fan, you needed to have watched this just to keep up with the conversation.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, agreed. God damn. All right, well, should we go into the final era of
Final
anime?
era, the current era of anime.
What do we
Free
have?
Ren
It's
dethroning Full
just
Metal
Free Ren.
Alchemist as the top show of all time.
Vinland Saga
Free Ren.
Season 2, One
Vinland
Piece
Saga
1.
Season 2.
Oh, Witch from Mercury, which I still haven't seen.
Yeah.
I feel like this past 2 years have been dominated by very like less shows than usual. Like there are a lot more like big, heavy hitters and more like kind of ones that are like, yeah, it's good.
This year's been quiet. I
been
will
very
say
quiet.
this year has been very, very quiet. From the shows that I've seen from the summer season that are coming up, there's like Oshinoko season 2, and that's pretty much the only big
Heavy hitter.
IP I can think of off the top of my head. 4 might pop off because there's ReZero season 3. There's
excited.
Dandadan, which I'm
Oh,
very, very
so
excited
pumped for
for.
that.
I think that's
so
going to
good.
be very, very big. But
Yeah.
even like something this season, like Kaiju number 8, which you think should have popped off a lot because it's like a big Shonen Jump thing. It was alright. Everyone
Yeah,
kinda,
I only watched the
haven't watched
first
it yet.
couple of episodes of it, but I heard like it kind of lost its steam, like as it kind of went on. And it's like I don't know.
I mean, it was just like it didn't really do anything that we haven't seen before in Shonen,
Right.
And it was just
I gotta
an
watch it.
entertaining action show. And I think this comes off of last year, which was such a good year for anime.
Is it like what Owari no Seraph was to Attack on Titan?
I guess so. I don't
guess,
know. I
yeah.
don't.
Actually, you know what deserves to be on here? Black Butler coming back. Let's go. Have you watched any of that, by the way?
No.
You should watch it.
What, Black Butler?
The new season, I had to like pause it for a second and Google, because although I read the manga, I didn't read that arc of the manga, and it's set in like a school, and I guess I didn't know about this English word. They kept saying, and I don't know, can I even say this on YouTube? They kept saying,
Like for a cigarette?
no. They were like, "You'll be my," and then they'll be like, "Oh, it's time." And
Wait, what?
and so,
Is this in the new season?
yes, and so I had to Google what this word meant because
Yeah.
I didn't know it, and I feel like I fail as a British person.
Right.
So apparently, this is an old tradition that they had in the UK,
Yeah.
which was in Eton, you know, like the most privileged of privileged schools.
Yeah.
It was accustomed to have the freshmen kind of do the chores of the upperclassmen.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were called.
Ah.
And I guess in certain broadcasting platforms they changed the word, but in some of them they didn't.
Right.
So the platform I watched it on, which was the one that I guess wasn't the American one.
Yeah.
It's because I watched it on like Netflix, which had
Yeah.
the
Japan Netflix.
Japan Netflix, which
Yeah.
had the English subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just straight up ripping it. And it was kind of it was interesting because I was like, there was literally a time where they said it's time, and I was like, Dad, it's time to or something, and I was just like, can you guys stop? I understand it's the correct usage of the word, and there was no other word to describe what this is, but you didn't have to say that. Mudan,
Why do I have to repeat that?
Oh
shit?
you
my
might have to
God.
blur that, Mudan.
Yeah.
Do I censor
Yeah,
that?
I don't know.
They didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm literally not being.
Maybe
like,
let's censor it just
derogatory.
to be safe.
Yeah.
But like, I guess isn't that also sad that like we're literally talking about a thing that was real in a period of time and we now can't say the word because it's been like taken over by a slur.
I guess so.
But like the word's still a real word and it's still.
I mean, it
used,
still means
right?
cigarette. You know?
Yeah, and,
As well.
it was just very.
I think because you're hearing it in this era.
And it was also because they were all like, I don't know, if it was just the way that they were using it felt like very like I was like, we could have used a different word.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is.
Sorry, I derailed the conversation.
No,
No,
it's
no.
it's
Also, great season though. Very fun. I had so much fun watching that season of Black Butler.
And yeah, I mean, I feel like this year in general for anime is going to be a bit quiet. Like I said,
Apothecary Diaries came out of nowhere. That was a fun
Apothecary
one.
Diaries, I mean, it kind of
Sleeper
came out of
hit.
nowhere, but it also didn't come out of nowhere. Sometimes you have a series like Apothecary Diaries where it has such a dedicated fan base for the manga, and you just never heard of it ever before.
Yeah, but there are so many shows that are, I feel like very similar vibe to Apothecary Diaries, of diehard manga fan bases that just don't
Yeah.
quite land with the
Yeah.
anime viewers.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is normally the kind of show that I wouldn't have gambled on.
Yeah.
If you'd asked me, I'd have been like, that's not going to pop off.
Yeah.
But it just did so well.
I
Again,
mean-
right, deservedly so.
Yeah, Apothecary Diaries just hits a whole new like to me, like a lot of people who didn't watch much anime
Yeah.
or like didn't watch much shonen or had much interest in anime, they watch Apothecary Diaries.
yeah.
Especially a lot of people who just liked dramas. I think my mum would really like Apothecary Diaries, and that says a lot.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's just fun.
Yeah,
just a great time.
It's fun. It's a great show. Great main character. Mao Mao is just such a fucking queen and a gremlin at the same
I
time.
cannot think of that show without you mentioning that meme of like, you know how like Thing Japan?
Yeah.
Like,
Think Japan.
Thing Japan, China, Japan. so stupid. Yeah,
And yeah, this is basically we are now very much into the
we're in the free run era.
We're in the free run
Free
era.
run runs all.
We are into the Jujutsu Kaisen One Piece if you like shonen, and free run if you are in the wider anime.
I'm so glad that we started bringing back 25 episodes, 24 episodes.
I
feel
am
like
as well.
It helped some of these shows so much. Like Free Run, I think benefited so much
Yeah.
from having more episodes.
You couldn't have done free reign with 12 episodes.
Yeah, because if you had 12 episodes and then we're like, oh, dude, I loved the first 12 episodes. I can't wait for the 2 years for the one tournament arc.
Yeah.
Sorry, not tournament arc, the like class arc. I just feel like it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
I feel like it did really well from that format.
Yeah. Is there a 12 episode show that is talked about for more than a year? I'm trying to think.
No,
now.
I don't think so.
I'm trying to
Because
think.
Jujutsu Kaisen was 20.
That was 24.
Yeah, which I think helped that so much.
Yeah. I'm
And
trying
it
to
just
think.
kept it in the conversation like all year.
Yeah, because like I think 12 episodes now. I'm trying to think of what the last 12 episode show that not is.
Apothecary Diaries, 25 as well.
That was 25.
Yeah, which again, like I think like
Yeah, I
these
think
extended,
two cores is just the way to go. If it's one core, you just don't get enough time to
like really get invested.
really make an impact on an audience for a long time. Sure.
Yeah, because it just takes 3 episodes to really establish, I feel like, what's going on.
Yeah.
And then another 3 is kind of like, all right. And then by that point, you're like, all right, we got to start wrapping this up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we're just going to leave you hanging on like ReZero and we'll just hope that you still care. And even then, I think like, I am very excited for ReZero, but I feel like they're taking the piss a little bit. That last arc was not good.
Hey man, that last arc.
I'm just saying it was
needed.
It was
But-
needed, but what would have helped a lot is if there was something after the build-up and not 4 years of waiting.
Yeah.
I got the biggest blue balls of my life.
True, but I mean, everyone thought the same with Attack on Titan.
That's
until,
true. That's true.
Until it
Yeah,
popped
you're
off.
right. You tell me to sit down, Khan.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right. You're right. I gotta be more patient. You're right, Khan.
If
What if they don't cook?
Let 'em cook.
But what if they don't cook?
But hold up.
What if they don't?
Let them cook.
The point is, if a series pops off and people start talking about it, people are just going to want to catch up and marathon through
Yeah,
it
that's
anyway.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like, I remember like, I look at Kaiju number 8 and I look at Hell's Paradise and I'm like, those are two sides of the same coin.
I like Hell's Paradise though.
I quite enjoyed Hell's
It was fun, but no one spoke about it.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's gonna continue.
It was
talking
turn
about
your
it.
brain off fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Kaiju number 8 is for me. It was like a different kind of like shonen action. It was fun. I don't think anyone's going to be talking about it unless
True
it
and real.
pops off in season 2
Yeah.
and beyond.
Zone 100. What an unfortunate fate.
Yeah,
that
it fell
had.
Yeah.
off, didn't it?
That like
Yeah.
well, I just think it was just. I mean, production.
It just shafted itself.
Yeah.
It was production, but also
It did lose a bit of steam.
like it lost a lot of steam just because of the concept of it.
Yeah.
You can only do so much of it with the
Yeah.
concept without it turning into another zombie movie.
I feel like that happens a lot though in anime with like episode 1 being an absolute banger, and then just kind of like not really knowing where to take it and like kind of
Well, I mean,
stumbling.
people were saying the same thing about All Shinoko, right?
Well, I mean, listen, I've been saying Oshinoko was mid from like episode 3, and people didn't believe me. and now everyone's kind of realizing that it's mid. Just saying.
I still don't think it's mid.
I don't think it's mid.
I think it's mid.
I think it's really good.
I think it had one great episode, and if it was an OVA, we would have been like, wow, that's amazing.
Nah.
I think
it's cooking.
I think it's
You think
good.
it's cooking?
It's cooking.
But
I don't think it's going to cook any harder. I think it's reached its
I think
peak.
they reached.
I mean, I'm caught up with the manga, and let me tell you, it's cooking.
Yeah,
Do
but
you know what?
Is
Do you
it
know-
cooking in the wrong direction?
It's cooking in like a this is gonna be interesting
Oh
direction.
god!
Yeah.
Yeah, is it cooking as in like we're becoming domestic girlfriend? Kind of?
Akasaka is definitely trolling. That's
Okay,
for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
But you love that though. You love it when fans get pissed off. That's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's like what you live for.
Oh, dude, seeing
I
anime
love that.
fans
I
and
love
manga fans
that.
getting pissed off is my hobby.
Yeah, some of my fondest memories is whenever, like, obviously, I was like invested in Darling in the Franxx for example. I really thought it
Yeah.
was a great show, and then the turn happened, and then I wasn't invested in the show anymore. But I think
You were
I found
invested
it
in the fan
more
reaction.
entertaining
Yeah.
seeing the reaction and
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
the internet lose its fucking minds than I was being invested in the show.
That's
being
why I
good.
unironically loved the redo of Healer, just to see how the internet was reacting to this show. It was so
I
funny.
feel like
It was.
redo of Healer didn't get a stronger reaction though.
It was
I
just
don't know,
the- it was
man.
that one
Episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because
it was kinda
that's
over with
because
pretty
most
quick.
people didn't go beyond episode 2.
I feel like
Yeah, I do.
Goblin Slayer got a stronger reaction than
The
redo
episode
of Healer.
1?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that Goblin Slayer is the real title of the name, and I just keep thinking of Goblin D's nuts. I think my brain is broken.
When you just see a goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That show was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Goblin Slayer was not good.
Yeah, but now I see Oshinoko. It's a good show, but it just makes me really sad that Act Age is just what happened.
I know.
Act Age.
This could have been acted.
Yeah, because I was like this.
Why
This is
couldn't
like
it
a
have been-
lesser.
Why
Act
couldn't it have been
Age.
tax fraud?
Yeah, right.
They always bounce back from that.
a little slap on the wrist, you know.
Apothecary Diaries is just like, oh, it's it's tax
yeah.
fraud. Okay,
Yeah, it's like, oh,
Okay,
you're good.
every fan is like, thank God.
all right. It's like we're not Doctor disrespecting the site. Oh, okay.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my lord! Hey, Pluto was great though.
Pluto was
Pluto's good.
fantastic.
Does that mean that like potentially what is it, the one that you really
20th
like?
Century Boys.
Yeah, that we can get a crazy adaptation.
I hope so.
That would be.
So.
We've been saying that for like the
I hope
past
so.
10,
I hope
15
so.
years.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this era to me, past 2 years just feels like it's literally Jujutsu Kaisen, Frieren, Vinland Saga, and that's it. And
Where do you think
like,
anime is going to go? What do you think next trend is going to be?
fuck. I don't know, man. It feels like Vinland Saga is such a chokehold over anime popularity right now. It's hard to imagine anything else.
You mean Jujutsu Kaisen?
Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen is such a chokehold over what anime is right now.
Yeah, I think we're going to get. I don't know.
I want more edgy shows,
Same.
but like good edgy shows, not edge. Like
Yeah.
he does edgy things. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
edgy. I mean like good shit. Like I don't know, like how Helsing used to feel. It's like fucking
that's
cool.
that's a product of our time.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
That
I'd
is-
like
that
to
is-
think of like something nice and edgy.
Yeah, that is very much a product of our time. I think
Yeah, that was a
looking
good
at
balance.
this, the one thing I will say is that it just seems like very squeaky clean.
Yeah, it's soulless.
compared to
Yeah.
Joey. I wouldn't Joey. Joey. No, that's not what I said, Joey.
That's something I want to edge. I want more like kind of like gritty stories.
yeah,
with,
like be a little
uncomfortable-
more rough around the edges, you know.
I just want more like I don't need to like the protagonist, but I also don't want him to be Meliodas. You know, I think like there needs to be
You're
a
asking
reason.
for too much.
Listen, I just think you can make a character that isn't just a creep, and they're trying to tell me that it's funny. I think that's the problem. I just don't like Meliodas because they're trying to make me like him.
Yeah.
They're trying to tell me that he's a lovable guy.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that's what lovable guys do.
If any shroud of morality is left in me, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will know that he is not a lovable character.
Yeah, I mean, I think, a big thing as well is that there is just so many shows being made right now that it's just pretty much
too much.
impossible
It's suffocating.
to
man.
catch up and know everything that's coming out.
Yeah.
It does feel like there's going to be like a bubble of anime. Like it just feels like this isn't sustainable.
You think it's going to burst?
Half of these shows must not financially recover what they're investing.
Oh no, that's why. Why
absolutely
do you think
not.
we keep seeing like
Yeah.
new studios pop up
Yeah.
every single year? It's because like
Yeah.
they're trying to fill in that like massive supply and demand, and I just feel like eventually they're just not going to be able to keep up, and it's just going to crumble.
When does the remake era happen?
I think
I would argue it's already happening.
Yeah, true.
I think the isekai era might be coming to an end.
Oh, thank God.
Dude, I think genuinely, that is like 50% of the reason why half anime sucks right now.
But no, I think it's just going to be replaced by something else.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but
I think okay, this is my prediction. I think dungeon anime are going to be
I was going to say medieval anime. I thought medieval.
Yeah, because I think especially with Solo Leveling coming out right now, Delicious and Dungeon really
Free
doing
Rend as
well,
well.
and Free Rend doing well. I think it doesn't necessarily need to be isekai anymore, but I think the whole
So what you're saying is
medieval-
after isekai, it's just fantasy.
yes,
Yeah,
but it's a specific
Bro,
genre of
can we get a Lord of
fantasy,
the Rings anime?
You know.
Can we get a Lord of the Rings anime? That'd be so fucking hype.
Lord of the Rings anime.
We don't need a Lord of the Rings anime. A Lord of the
just
Rings
want a
anime
Lord of the Rings
is
anime.
already.
I just want a Lord of the Rings anime. Oh my god, I just want a Lord of the. I don't know. No, I don't even have to be good.
Yeah.
I just want to see Samwise animated.
Frodo-san.
I just want a 12-episode Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yeah, that'd be hype.
Give me it. I don't even need it.
I think that's just called Kingdom, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Kingdom is literally that.
Oh man. I don't know. Yeah, I'm totally fine with fantasy. I'm so in a fantasy kick right now. So I'm chill.
Yeah.
I like fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Then it'll go, and then it will be shit, and it'll get overdone, and then we'll get space. And
Yeah, we'll go back to
futuristic.
sci-fi.
I
and
want
then
space to come back.
I kind of do too, but Darling in the Franxx made me think maybe I don't.
I just want more cyberpunk shit, man.
I like cyberpunk.
Give me more
too.
cyberpunk shit.
Cyberpunk.
Steampunk too. I'm down for.
Steampunk and
Steampunk
cyberpunk
is
has
great
been proved
as
time
well.
and time again that people still love that aesthetic.
Yeah,
But-
right now it just seems like escapist media. Aside from like
It's too much.
there's
Too much.
so much escapist
It's
media
way too much. It's
right now, especially in
boring.
anime. Which
More terrorist anime.
terrorist anime.
Terror in Resonance didn't take off as much as I thought.
No. I would love to see. I mean,
Ash, but he joins Just Stop Oil, whatever it is.
just stop.
Ash, but he becomes a political activist.
In this episode, we're gonna blow up the Stonehenge.
Ash gets his fortress to use explode on Stonehenge. Ash, but Muck goes to the Louvre. Oh, Jesus.
I'm
Oh,
wondering if
God.
Solo Leveling is going to pop off even more than it did, because I didn't really feel like it popped off too much in the
I
anime
feel like it
community.
kind of did, but then everyone was like,
The recap episode, right?
well,
I feel like the recap episode got more discussion
yeah.
than
Yeah.
anything else.
Well, I'll be interested to see if it does.
Yeah,
But that's all the eras of anime.
that is all the
I think
eras
we actually
of
ended up
anime.
talking for like 2 hours in the end.
Yeah.
So I guess
Oh,
we
perfect.
yapped. We
Oh
yapped
shit!
away.
I thought we were gonna do this for an hour.
Well,
Yeah.
we yapped
Yeah.
too much.
Well,
But I
yeah.
hope you guys had fun.
Let us know your thoughts and
Yeah, let us know what you
opinions.
thought about your favorite era of anime. We'd love to know.
But hey, look at all these patrons on screen.
Look at
though.
all of them.
Oof.
Look at all of them.
Look at all of them. So many of
Hold
them
my load.
supporting the show. And for all of these guys, they get to watch the exclusive Patreon content that we
Oh,
do every
Lord.
single week. We have a brand one for you
Oh,
that
yeah.
you can go check out after this right now. Mudan, roll the clip.
Roll it.
PB select the category.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Why did you go that
I
far?
knew you'd do that just to fuck with Joey.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm not giving Joey a freed one.
What Hindu salutation meaning I bow to you is used at the end of many yoga classes? No!
Hey, me and the AI. Let's go.
Namaste was like hello.
That sucks, man.
And we have a tie for second place.
What? How are we losing to the AI? This is bullshit. He needs to get something wrong.
But hey, if you want to check that out as well as support the show, then head on over to patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify.
Yep.
And we will be back in our regular studio next week, I think.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.